Hi everyone, I'm Chris.
And this is Milton with the Sports Truth.
The truth will set you free.
Yes. Today we brought back Matt Guiccione.
Yeah, the Gooch is back in the house.
The Gooch had a little bit of a tough week. His Lakers lost in the first round, which I don't think LeBron had lost the first round matchup. Not the Cubs. The Padres got swept by the Cubs, and then he found out that Coach K is retiring in a year. He's a huge Duke Blue Devils fan, much like myself. So today, on today's podcast, we are going to talk about NBA playoffs, the first round. Of course, we're going to have our 5 random questions, and we are also going to talk about movie genres, our favorite movies in that genre. All right.
You know what that all means?
What?
It means Milton is a jinx.
Yeah, he's a big jinx.
Big jinx.
He opened his mouth last week.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lakers will be fine.
You know what? I actually picked the Lakers against the Suns, even though the Suns were the better team, because I just thought somehow, some way, the Lakers would win. So is it as simple as this, Matt? AD out, Lakers out?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if you could go back through the whole season, I thought about it.
Uh-huh.
Had time to reflect after the game last night. So if you think about it, being in the box last year, that was an extra long season for the Lakers winning. They only had like a month of off season.
That's true.
So they literally almost played year round.
True.
And if the team just lacked continuity all season long. I mean, they started off hot. They started, I think, 20, 25, 26, and 5 or something like that.
Yeah, they got up to a hot
They
start.
started off quick.
Yeah.
And then, they had a long stint of AD being out. Mm-hmm. Then they had LeBron out for an extended period of time.
Was there a time when they were both out?
There was a time when they were both out. then you had guys like Schroeder who were out for COVID protocol, and so throughout the whole season they just lacked continuity. They never had that time for all of them to gel and be on the court at the same time, so they could get that momentum like they had at the very beginning of the season.
Yeah.
To roll on through, and like as a San Diego guy, and we know this all too well, injuries. I mean, typically the teams that win championships are the ones that stay injury free.
That is true. I mean, as far as being a 49er fan, I mean, I took that to heart last year when they had the injuries wiped out half their team. So yes, injuries.
Cardinals, thank you. I would do like 20. What was it?
Yeah,
22,
so
20
really,
lost?
like for the Lakers, it just came down to they were just out of sync all season. They were never firing on all cylinders, and going into that series. They went 1-1. They split the series in Phoenix. Then they came back with the Lake. When they're at home, and I told you they had a chance to blow them out by 30, and they kind of screwed around, but they ended up winning by 16. But they were doing well. But as soon as AD went down and they lost all that presence, you could see in game 4, 5, and 6, they're getting out rebounded. And to me, this is the best analogy I could say. The Lakers, to me, were like Rocky Balboa and Rocky 3.
Oh, no.
And Phoenix was Clubber Lane.
Yeah.
They were just hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hungry.
That's a good one. I totally see where you're coming from there.
Like the whole series, you could just see that they, like the Lakers, they wouldn't kick it into gear until like the third quarter. They just played like, they didn't have that junkyard dog mentality. They just played kind of lethargic. I'm like,
They were
myself,
coasting,
guys,
yeah.
This is a playoff series. Like, well, this is game 6. Your back's against the wall. There is no
right?
tomorrow.
They're coasting.
I feel like Apollo Creed. There is no tomorrow.
I mean, I know they got it down to 13 points to make it closer, but I mean, they were down a bunch of points.
They just gave up.
Yeah.
No, well,
so
that doesn't help
for game 6.
That didn't help at the start of the game. In the first quarter, Booker is 6 for 6 from 3 points. He had almost 30 points in the first quarter.
I heard that he had a talk with his dad, and his dad was saying, nobody respects you. Nobody really puts you in the class with all those other sort of superstars. Tonight's the night, and man, if you go 6 for 6, especially from the NBA.
Well, let's just put this numbers tell the whole story.
Absolutely.
And Phoenix, I believe going into halftime, we're shooting 67% to the Lakers 17.
Wow.
What happened? That's like the Buccaneers-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
So I mean, when that's happening, I mean, it was just sometimes, it's just not your night. And when a team is on, a team is on.
If you could take one player from any other team to add to your Lakers, who would it be?
Really?
You already
Yeah.
know who this is.
Who would it be? Come on.
would it be?
In the off season, the main objective for the Lakers in the off season is they need a point guard and a backup point guard. So if somehow, some way they can just encourage Lillard to just quit wasting his talents in Portland with nobody around him and come to LA, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what
they-
That's
what
the
they
correct
do.
answer. There was only one correct answer, and I was like, man, if he goes for like
No.
Giannis or he goes for somebody else, he
No,
doesn't
Dame
understand the
Lillard, okay,
chemistry of
Dame
basketball.
What
Yes.
I love about Lillard
Dame
the
time.
most, what I admire about his game is
Yeah.
he always looks pissed off. He plays with
Yes,
a chip on his shoulder.
he
He
does.
wants to destroy you.
Did you happen to see Game 5? Because the Lakers game was over, so I switched it over to the Nuggets and Blazers game, and it went to double overtime.
What?
And Lillard, I think he had like 55 points, like 1 turnover, 10 assists. And the only mistake he made during the game is when he passed it to somebody else, because then they would F it up. But, I mean, he was just bombing threes and just, I mean, I don't know. Yes. I mean, he's wasting his talents in Portland. Some other team, Lakers.
Yeah, CJ McCollum is not the
Oh my
second
God.
guy at all. He's
Dude,
just not.
he might be the worst number 2 in basketball.
God forbid they don't
I
hear
just
this.
never cared much for him. Yeah, he's a weak
Sorry,
number 2.
it's the truth.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
Sports
truth. Yeah,
truth.
Damon Lillard. He,
That's
he
funny because I
carries
was
that
thinking
team.
the same thing last
Yeah.
night as I'm watching the epitome of the Lakers game as you got guys running down and instead of they have the momentum going to the basket and then they try and make that extra pass. Kuzma did it multiple times.
Yeah.
I must have yelled his name about 1 million times. and why Gasol was in that game like whatsoever?
Yeah.
You're not Paul. Like, go sit on the bench. Don't come in.
When AD was grimacing throughout the first couple minutes of the game, did you just think, I mean, were you already throwing your
Yellow towel, the
Yeah.
yellow and what,
No,
purple
no, I
towel.
wasn't
No.
making-
yeah,
'cause I-
the white towel unboxing?
No, because I was with
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just gonna be LeBron's gonna have to like
Put it on himself.
put it in overdrive. He's gonna have to take it over.
Yeah, for sure.
But-
he had to go Jordan.
But I
Yeah,
I will
he did.
tell you one surprise.
Uh-huh.
Drummond played no minutes in that game whatsoever.
I would have been surprised. I would,
Yeah,
That
there's
would've
no
made
Drummond.
perfect
So
sense, yeah.
the one thing, like reflecting on this, first round, and it was LeBron's first time to lose an opening series.
Yeah.
He'd never
Wow.
done that before ever.
How far can the Suns go?
The Suns are a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They're coached well. They've all bought into Monty Williams' system.
Mm-hmm.
They're a dangerous team. It was no joke that they were second. I believe they finished second in the
Number
West.
2. Yeah, in
Wow,
the
I mean,
West.
they're legit. Think about last year. Even in the bubble,
Undefeated,
they were
right?
undefeated.
I know. You saw glimpses of what we saw this year.
And then here's the thing. Chris Paul finished that series and AD did not.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they're both they're both battling some injuries, but you can see like Chris Paul is still he's got that knack, man. You can't leave any of those guys open. They can all shoot. Jay Crowder, I believe he hit 4 or 5 3-pointer. I mean, they're just dangerous. This is a dangerous team. Denver, they're playing Denver next, correct?
Yeah. Denver
Yeah,
wrapped
Denver's
up the
gonna have their
series.
hands full with that team.
Yeah.
I can see them making a good run.
Yeah. So there was 8 first-round playoff games. I went 4-3 and probably going to lose the 4th game depending on who wins between the Clippers and the Mavericks. But I'll go over what I didn't get right, and one of them being the Lakers. I mean, I thought the Suns were a more talented team, but somehow, somewhere, some way, LeBron and AD and them just being the Lakers, we're going to get through
First
it.
time
So,
for everything.
Yeah,
First time for everything. It
and
happens.
maybe I am a jinx. And
So you were a jinx, and now Stephen Curry's going to go down with the knee injury because of you.
oh my
But
God.
you can see.
No, please no.
So you see it for the Lakers, like how much they missed Dwight Howard and playoff Rondo.
Yeah, for sure.
They
Both
played
of
a
those.
huge part of that championship last year, and they didn't have that.
Absolutely.
They just
Where's Rondo? Is he on the Clips?
he's on the Clippers,
Okay.
and hopefully they circle the toilet, and that's the end of them.
Circle the toilet. That's
It
a
would
new
be
one.
too painful, right? That's a good one. It'd be too painful to see them march on and then have the Lakers fade in the back.
Ouch.
But let's see. So, yes, I had the Knicks beating the Hawks because they were just they were playing well. They got into the playoffs, and man, I was so wrong. Trae Young, all like 165 pounds of him with his crazy ass hair. Man, he's bordering on superstar, right? I mean, he can shoot the three. His dribbling is just amazing. His teardrops that he does. I mean, how good of a player is Trae Young? I mean, I guess I'm finding this out now. I just never fully maybe bought into him, but after the series, I did.
Hey, listen, he doesn't matter. He gets spit on, whatever. He's like, look, I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm
He
gonna show
did.
you.
He did.
Wow.
Spit on me, I'll take you down.
Yeah, that is crossing the line for
man.
sure. Hit me in the face, but do not spit in my face for sure.
All right, so what about Trey Lance? You said Trey.
Oh yeah,
Trey
Trae.
Lance of the
No,
We're Niners. Come on.
No,
His
I know,
favorite.
right? And you know what? I should have never taken the Knicks, and I should know better than this. So basically, what I was saying to myself is, I am betting on R.J. Barrett, and you know he played for Duke. He sort of let me down there. So between him and Julius Randle to be the number 1 and number 2 options, when they're probably more of a third option, right? So they still need sort of a superstar to come, but I think they overachieved with Tom Thibodeau. But and so I had that wrong. And what else did I have wrong?
I know this section's really hard for you to admit you're wrong. It's okay. Swallow your pride.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, I guess I'll go with what I got right first until I figure out what I got wrong. So yeah, the Bucks. There was a lot of people that said that they were going to lose to the Heat because they lost to them last year. The first game was so close. I think if the Heat win that game, then it probably goes to 7. But after that initial game, after that close game, they ended up winning the next 3 by an average of 27 points. Giannis, he's expanded his game so much. I mean, dribbling down the court, can just take it from one end of the court to the other one. Dunking it, do what he wants to do.
Basically,
Yeah. And then now that last year he added the 3-point shot, and then this year he added the mid-range. So how do you stop someone like Giannis if I mean, a 7-foot guy that could shoot the 3, that could shoot the mid-range, that could take 2 steps from the free throw line and dunk it in your face. I mean, is he getting to the point to where, sort of like how Shaq was, unstoppable? And of course, Shaq didn't have 3-point game and all that, but he was such a force inside. I mean, how do you see Giannis? I mean, just increasingly getting better, or unstoppable force?
Well, I mean, that's what everybody expected them to do last year.
True.
But what I take from it is find it interesting. The 2 teams that went the farthest last year are both out in the first round.
Ooh, that's a good one. I hadn't
Really?
even thought
Because
about that.
again,
The
like
Heat
I
and
said,
the
they
Lakers,
basically
that's-
played year round. So
Yeah.
do you think that that was actually a disservice or a disadvantage to them
For sure.
of going so deep last year and basically having no time off?
So
Yeah.
like Super Bowl
And then you
hangover?
notice
Huh.
the Heat get swept,
Yeah.
and then the Lakers lose Game 6, and they're out.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Is that like Super Bowl hangover for basketball?
Like a
Yeah,
major.
sort of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then also to add to the Bucks, I mean, the best. We talked about the worst number 2,
Who's the
right?
best?
McCollum. I mean, one that nobody talks about, right? Chris Middleton. I mean, just a solid number 2 player. I mean, he made the game-winning shot in the first game.
Wow.
That allowed them to end up doing the sweep. And then in the offseason, they get Drew Holiday, who's a scoring point guard. So, yeah, I mean, the Bucks, it would have been an embarrassment to get knocked out in the first round, especially after you give Giannis the max contract.
Yeah, and Tom Brady's pretty good at shooting from the 3-throw line too. Yeah, the Bucks.
Exactly. Both Bucks are on fire right now. The Milwaukee
They
Bucks
are.
and the Tampa Bay Bucks. the Nets and the Celtics, I think there was like 17 ESPN writers, and 17 of them had the Nets. No one had the Celtics. I'm surprised that they even won one game. But the way I see this, and I mentioned it in my predictions when we were talking about first rounds, is that Harden, Durant, and Kyrie Irving are like General Zod, Ursa, and Non. I forget
the trifecta,
right, from Superman 2.
Yes.
And on the other side was Jason Tatum, who was Superman. I mean, great. You have one Superman going against these other three Supermans. And,
because they had that little crystal. They did that little red thing, and they wiped his
kryptonite.
powers away.
Yeah, red
basically
kryptonite.
saying that
They
there was
kryptonized them.
there was that epic battle between Superman and then General Zod, Ursa, and that Non. But there's no way Superman was going to beat them, and then he pulls that trick. So I just sort of felt the same way with, three shooters. I mean, Durant, possibly the best player in the NBA. I know you have your issues with James Harden, but
Go Bucks!
There's no bias on sports.
Yeah, I sort of like the Bucks. I mean, I know I'm supposed to like the Nets, but like my thinking is if you can't stop Giannis and they don't have anybody to throw against them. I mean, you could say, whoever they have as far as the bigs, but if Giannis goes off, then it leaves everybody else open. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks knocked off the Nets. I know you're pulling for the Bucks because you don't like James Harden.
Man, don't be jinxing.
Don't
those
jinx. You know what? Nets gonna win now because you jinxed it. You opened your mouth. What did you say earlier? Come on.
Fear the deer.
Yes,
okay?
fear the
the
deer,
deer. All right. Yeah, Giannis is on a mission for sure. Talking about the Celtics game, there's been a lot of spitting, throwing
Just
popcorn.
why? Yeah.
Right?
Explain that to me as a casual basketball viewer.
Yeah. So
What that's about. Is it just disrespect or what's going on?
I just sort of found it funny. My wife heard about it, and she said, "Is that really assault and battery?" I mean, she said it's
stuff.
a half filled up water bottle. She says Kyrie Irving needs to get over himself because she knows about all the, because he's a Dookie, so she's known him for a long time through the things that I've said. And her solution is that he needs to get like into martial arts or something and just like
open palm batted away.
No, just be able to refocus his energy, because he's a talented player, but I mean, what goes on upstairs?
It's a nice way of her saying to suck it up.
A lot of energy goes into that flat earth thing.
Yeah,
it does.
Flat earther.
Oh, he's a flat earther?
He is a flat earther.
Boy.
Well,
Okay.
before you hop off the Celtics for a minute, how about the shake-up this
Wait,
week?
what happened?
Yeah, so
Ainge steps down.
Really?
yes.
Childress moves into his position. Now they're looking for a new head coach.
Man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a mess.
Who would you go for a coach?
I don't know. I have a hard time talking about the Celtics.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Your mind's a little clouded on that. The Sixers took care of the Wizards. That wasn't a big surprise. I mean, does anybody take Russell Westbrook seriously in the playoffs? I mean, during the regular season, he's doing triple doubles, and he is definitely the most athletic point guard or whatever you want to call him. I mean,
but in the playoffs,
I would love to see what his vertical is. Like 48 inches
Probably.
or something ridiculous like that. I mean, you don't take him very seriously, right? I mean, he's been bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
No, they don't. I mean, come on. They don't call him West Brick for nothing.
Oh, so he's like Lamar Jackson of the NBA. Good to know.
Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah, he just tanks in the playoffs. Good.
He's a stat maker, but it's selfish.
It is. It's true.
And in the clutch, he does not come through in the clutch.
So he just runs up points like people who dunk on lesser teams to inflate their own stats, right? Makes sense.
Yeah, and then the Jazz, of course, took care of the Grizzlies.
Poor Grizzlies.
They got game one, and then after that, and that was a weird thing because Donovan Mitchell's like, "Hey, coach, I'm ready to go," and then the Utah brass is like, "No, we don't think you're ready to play or good enough to play," which is bizarre because if a player says they can, and then he came out in game two and had a monster game. Him and Conley. I mean, the Jazz are an interesting team because when I'm watching them, they pass the ball 4 or 5 times to open players. They got these tall European players like Gobert and some of the other ones. So, and they are coached by a former Duke player, Quinn Snyder. So that's sort of who I'm pulling for. I've been a Jazz fan for a long time, so maybe it could actually happen. Yeah. The Clippers Maverick series, that one is just. I mean, the Clippers lose the first 2 games at home, right? And then they win the next 2 on the road at Dallas, and then they go back home and then they lose. So they've lost 3 home games. So who knows how that one's gonna end up. I know you have your biases. Luka is amazing. I'm gonna go on the record and say that he's the best white boy player since Larry Bird, and it's not like you have a whole bunch
Hasty.
it's not like you have a whole bunch to choose from,
No, we don't.
The John Stocktons, and help me out here with some players
Yeah,
over
I
the
don't know
last,
any.
30, 40 years.
All I know is just African American players. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
and then Yao Ming. That's it.
Right,
Chinese, that's
right.
it.
Yeah,
That's
but
all I got.
I mean, Luka needs help. I mean, I don't even know who his number 2 is. But get that guy a superstar to go along with him. Who's the owner of
everybody
the
that
Mavericks?
passed on him in the draft is ruining the day.
Well, it was funny because they traded the pick of Trae Young for him, and then now it's looking like both teams made the right decision.
How does basketball draft work compared to NFL?
Oh, so basically it's sort of a lottery system. So
Really?
the worst teams, like the worse
teams
you are, the more balls you have in the lottery system.
Oh.
So it doesn't go by like you have the worst record, you get
Number one,
like the
NFL.
NFL,
Okay.
like it should be. Yeah.
That seems kind of unfair because what if you get a really good thing and you just load your team even more? Like the Dream Team from, was it the 80s Olympics or 90s Olympics? The Dream
92.
Team? Yeah, the Dream Team that went undefeated and was kind of a laugher because everyone else got blown out. Wait, didn't we lose though?
No, not the Dream Team.
What about Dream Team 2.0, the one with LeBron? Didn't we lose?
I think we lost in 2004, and then that's when they brought in Coach K, and then he helped win 3 gold.
The Coach
We're
K
going
that
to
is,
talk.
Yeah.
We'll
Anyways.
talk about him later on in the
Hey,
podcast.
so if you had the Dream Team, you would say automatic championship, right?
What are you talking about?
If you had the Dream Team for the NBA, if you had all of them on your team in any decade, would you say automatic championship? No
Oh
matter
yeah,
what.
definitely.
No matter
There's
what?
no one that's going to beat Jordan and Magic Johnson,
and
Karl Malone and John Stock. I mean,
all of them.
The greatest collection of talent,
Yeah,
right? I mean, you're talking
the Dream Team.
Yeah, I mean,
Minus Isaiah.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
Oh yeah,
What happened to that one?
Okay, so
Everyone you named,
Michael
except-
Jordan hated Isaiah Thomas.
Really?
With a passion.
With a
Of
passion.
course.
So, and the funny part about it was that the coach who ended up coaching them was the Detroit Pistons. So you would have thought that he would have brought his point guard, but that was the deal breaker there.
Okay.
I mean, Jordan says no, of course, but
Yeah,
I think if you read between the lines.
We all know what really happened behind closed doors.
Yeah, I mean, and also if I was Isaiah Thomas, I mean, I love Christian Laettner. We all do, just being Duke fans. But I mean, to have a college basketball player and not have Isaiah Thomas, that's just funny.
Jeez.
Hey, in Leitner's
still won.
defense, he would be on the Mount Rushmore of college players of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Really?
for sure. I mean,
Your top 4 people?
yeah, I mean, 4 Final Fours, 3 championships, back to back, epic
Wow.
shots, Player of the Year. Just for sure. I mean, if we're just judging them on college,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I want to watch the Dream Team now on YouTube.
Yeah.
I want to see the
I think we
laughter
covered
blowouts.
all our playoff teams in the first round.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So we will transition. We're gonna, since we have a lot going on today, we're gonna go to 5 random questions.
5 random questions.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm still trying to stump Chris.
Yeah,
I don't
viewers.
think these will stump you, but one of these days I'll get you.
Yeah, it's okay, viewers. He'll never stump me. Mark my words. It'll be podcast episode 100. Still hasn't stumped me.
All right. We'll see. That's my goal.
Yep.
All right, Chris, we'll start off with you. What's your favorite drink? I know you don't drink too much alcohol or any at all, but it could be just whatever drink or alcoholic drink.
Jameson whiskey.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
His words again.
No, okay. Do you do that with ginger ale?
No, I just drink it straight.
Oh, on the rocks?
Yeah,
No,
I like
straight.
this guy.
Okay.
Shot, just straight shot. No coffee.
I am.
It's the Irish Scottish in me. I'm telling you, my last name is McElroy.
That's
Irish
true.
lassie.
I like
Good
this
stuff.
guy.
Yeah. All right. No, that's a good one. Okay.
I'm gonna elevate your game, your
Okay.
whiskey game.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move that to Basil Hayden
Basil Hayden.
with the large ice cube.
Oh, one of
That's
those like.
Oh, the
big
fancy
square,
ones.
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
ice
it's the
ice
big
cube
square ice cube.
with
Okay.
Basil Hayden.
Okay.
We'll just
I'll
take
have to
that
try that one day.
Jameson, which
Yeah.
Jameson's a good go-to.
Yeah.
But then we elevate that up to
Okay.
Basil Hayden over a large ice cube.
Okay. You're gonna have to make that for me one day. I'll definitely drink it.
I'm gonna go with a margarita with an amazing type of tequila, probably like a Clase Azul or something.
Man, I can see you drinking that right now.
Oh yeah, I love a good margarita. The
course you
good
do.
margarita is all about use a good tequila. Like when we had
Some
it
Don
at
Julio?
the press. Oh yeah, Don Julio,
Julio.
1942.
Yep.
Yeah, for
Wow.
Hey,
sure.
that one that we had the other day, that spicy margarita.
Spicy. What was it? Pineapple margarita.
Yes.
Oh, dude, one of the best margaritas I had. That was
Really?
epic. I
Well,
loved
anything
it.
that has spicy in
Yes. But we talked about this. Don't go too spicy because then you can't taste what you're,
True.
the
Drinking?
flavors.
Ah.
And then for me, I get like acid reflux and it's.
it. Now, on your question one, if we
Uh-huh.
were going non-alcoholic,
Yeah.
Oh.
anything that has mango in it, I'm just a sucker for mango.
Okay.
I don't know if
Okay,
it's the
I know how to
color or
bribe
what,
him
but
now.
if I see mango, man, I'm go. I,
Buy
For
you all the
sure,
mango?
for
I'll
sure.
reach for the mango.
Absolutely.
Oh.
If I was going non-alcoholic drink, I'd probably go kombucha. I remember my wife. Was it like 2 years ago? She's like, I'm gonna do and you always heard kombucha, but had no idea. Like, is it a tea? What the hell is it? But probiotic, sparkling drink, and some are better than others. But
No, I got to get you the live soda. That's
I
the
know
best
live
one.
that's what I
Yeah.
heard.
Hands
yeah.
down, that's the best one.
Okay, if I find that one, I'm gonna drink it. But it's just so good because the awesome thing about kombucha is that it has half the calories, half the sugar, but you're not sacrificing any of the flavor, which is amazing. Because
Of
if you
course.
look at the sodas, it's like 42 grams of sugar and 130, and over here in kombucha, you got like 60 calories and like 15 grams of sugar, and all the probiotics that it has in it, especially with all the like stomach issues and acid reflux I have. I mean, it's an elixir for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to step up.
Yeah.
So what I have in
Again.
your freezer,
Yeah.
I might have to turn you on to that.
Okay.
That is a healthy energy drink.
Okay.
A healthy
It has, like,
energy drink.
No fat, no sugar, no aspartame, no anything.
Uh-huh.
But it's cola flavored and it's phenomenal.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah,
You heard it
Celsius.
first.
Celsius, you get it
Celsius.
at
Yeah.
any like health food store.
This
I'll
podcast
definitely-
is sponsored by Celsius.
Yeah, exactly. We can say whatever we want. We only have 15
Yeah, yeah,
subscribers.
they'll never
so,
find
yeah,
out.
Exactly.
For me, it's Frappuccino.
Oh,
Starbucks.
Frappuccino.
And even
yeah.
in the Flo Rida videos, he
Yeah.
has Celsius cans.
Oh, he
Oh, does he?
Oh,
Okay, that's the first
okay.
time I've seen it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But I was originally going to get some Starbucks Frappuccinos like we used to do on Mondays.
Yeah.
So we would always talk football and what teams we were going to take or who was going to win. And
And he knew my favorite drink.
yeah, and so when he would give me 4 winners, and then boom. there we go.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, and then I'd give him the Frappuccino. No
Yep.
Frappuccino if you didn't win,
And I was usually right.
All right,
I know
this
that's
next question. Tell me about one of your OCDs. Unless you just don't have OCD, then that's okay. Not everybody.
I do have OCD.
Okay,
I swear I do.
Okay, what's your OCD?
My OCD is, you know how you have your desktop, like a computer desktop,
Yeah.
everything on there? If you have a bunch of pictures, files, whatever crap is strewn all around it, you're
Yeah.
dead to me.
Oh,
I have
okay.
to put everything in folders, it has to be labeled and dated, all of
So it
them.
has to be organized
Yeah.
and detailed.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
OCD. How about you?
I have many OCD.
Okay, name the
That's
number
funny
one.
because I'm
Yeah.
so OCD about my car, and then my wife's like, "Why can't you be like that about the house?"
Yeah,
That's
my
different.
wife says the
Yeah.
same thing too.
But,
our car.
But my go-to OCD, I'm a huge lover of books,
Okay.
Yeah.
like actual like the kind that I know the millennials don't know about the ones you actually
Hey,
pull off the
I
shelf
do.
and then you open them up.
Yeah.
But if I see somebody reading a book and they have that thing bent all the way around
No.
or
done.
not honoring that book, I can't even look.
Oh wow.
Look away.
Okay, so there's just something
So
about
anybody
it.
that
The
like
cover that
or
flips
people
it,
that
yeah.
flip the page to keep their place and bend the
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, like that give me.
Okay,
I got a bookmark for that.
So have your bookmark, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
get
I
your
have
book,
one.
but pay the extra $3-4 bucks and get yourself a bookmark.
Okay.
I'm one of the few millennials who knows what a book is. Anyway.
All right. I'm actually gonna give you 2 of them.
Oh.
One is when I put my cash in my wallet, it has to every denomination. So the 20 goes first, then the 10, and the 5, and the 1. And they
So
all
large
ha-
to small bills.
small, and they all
Yeah.
have to be
face the correct way.
Face the
Flip
correct
the correct way
Yeah,
too.
that-
They have to be right side up, etc.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
one I learned 20 years ago from a friend of mine who did it, and I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Keep my money organized.
Don't look in my wallet. I just have a bunch of everything in there. Just
And
random.
then my other one, which is sort of a weird one, is at the gas station.
Yeah.
I will not go to pump number 6. It's just like this
Why?
bad luck number for
It's
me.
your
I don't like
Lutheran.
6 either. That's my
Really?
least favorite number.
This,
You Lutheran.
I know, right?
666, huh?
Yeah.
Six-
I just take whatever
yeah.
empty one there is. I don't even look
6
at
is
the
my
number.
least favorite number.
Now I'm not gonna go to number 6 now
I
because
know,
of you.
you know what?
'Cause of you.
Emily said that she doesn't go to the number 6 in case I'm onto something. So yeah, sometimes it'll be there.
That being
And I'll be
said,
like,
I'm a career number 5, so five's my number.
I know. Yeah, no, five's a good number. It's funny because like as far as like teams I like, the 49ers have won 5 championships and Duke has won 5, and then I start thinking like, are they ever gonna get to 6?
lucky nickel.
Because I don't like 6. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
That's
we
the-
have to quickly go from 6 to 7.
7.
Yeah, exactly.
7's my number, so
win some
the holy
back-to-back
number,
championships.
7.
Yeah, 7 would be
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
for championships. Okay, if you could live for one day, someone famous, dead or alive, who would that person be? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
I would definitely like to see one day as Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Any particular day?
The day before he gets
The
assassinated.
day before he gets assassinated.
Because he thinks, oh, everything's great.
Right.
I've won.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
I'm going
That
to go
would-
to this lovely play with my wife tomorrow. It's not going to end with anything bad. Just to see what it was like actually like, not
Yeah,
just a history
no,
book.
for
Because
sure.
you never,
I mean-
the 99% of the stuff, and it's supposed to be in the history books, not in there.
Yeah,
Because it's just random conversations, walking down a hall, talking
For
to
sure.
people, him eating dinner.
that would be epic because I mean the
You'd
war's
actually find
over.
out.
You
Yeah.
know, moving on and
Yeah.
for sure. No, great answer.
And then, bye-bye.
I'm gonna get out of here before
Secret
it gets
Service's
yeah,
biggest mistake, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah. They'll never admit it, though.
Of course not. I mean, it wasn't even really. I mean, it
wasn't even
in
Secret
its
Service, it was a
infancy.
guard.
It was like the Pinkertons, right?
It was a
All
soldier,
after-
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a soldier at the door who he got bribed
Yeah.
to look away
Right.
by John Wilkes Booth, yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, that's a great question.
What do you think?
See, he can't stop me.
So I could. There's a couple people I wouldn't mind being. First one, of course, would have to be child of the 70s.
Yeah.
I'd just be for a day to be George Lucas, to be the father.
Oh,
there we go.
yes.
I'll give you that one.
Sit on
Yeah.
top of the entire
That'd be cool.
empire.
Yes. Yeah. George Lucas in his
Prime.
his Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Return of the
Everything.
Jedi.
Just to be
height.
the
No,
keeper of the
Strikes Back.
keys to the entire
Yeah.
Star Wars galaxy would be
You
pretty
would,
phenomenal.
you would
Lounge
not,
and
you
Lucas
would not
one.
want to be George Lucas prequel, where everybody.
Actually,
No,
no,
George
sir.
Lucas
Sir.
original.
Yeah, original.
Sir,
That's
I
a
like
prequel.
I like the prequels actually more than these new ones. I'd rather
But,
watch
but
the
then
prequels
again,
than the new
no,
ones.
think about
Yeah.
this.
How can you like the new ones? You really like the sequel trilogy? It's not Star Wars. I will fight you on this one.
Okay.
It's terrible.
You know what? I mean, they were all right. I mean, out of all of
They're
them, I
not Star
liked
Wars.
Rogue One the best because I
That's
felt like
not
it.
the sequel trilogy, sir.
No, I
First
know
of
it's
all.
not, but I'm saying it was a throwback
Sir.
to Empire Strikes Back.
Thank God for
Yeah.
John Favreau.
Yes.
He's the savior of Star Wars. If they would just get everybody else out of the way and let him take care of it,
Yeah.
Yes.
the galaxy will be just fine.
The galaxy would be great.
Yep.
Is he
But-
the one that was involved in that one?
No,
Oh,
but he's the one doing a Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Oh, yes.
Mandalorian's the best
he's
of
killing
the
it.
sequel.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
He's killing it.
He's awesome. I mean, he brought us Iron Man.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
He's,
I mean, anything that he
Elf.
touches with Marvel or Star Wars is golden.
absolutely.
Rogue One's pretty good.
But
so
think
yeah.
about this too. If you could be something else, how awesome would it be to be like Kirk Hammett or Slash and just be up on the stage with in front of thousands of people
Oh,
just
yeah.
shredding on a guitar?
Someone
For
someone
sure.
likes Metallica, I see. Someone
Yeah,
likes
that'd be
Guns N'
awesome.
Roses.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
we could
for
talk.
sure.
We could talk
I mean,
Metallica
both of
sometime.
those together. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
us
sure
two.
they played at the same time.
They did.
back
They
in
did
the
have
day.
a collab
Yeah,
concert.
yeah,
yes.
that
They
would,
did.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
At Qualcomm Stadium, no less.
I mean, both of them together.
Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Body Count. Remember?
Yes.
Okay, I don't.
Milton, give me your Metallica card. It's over. Give
No,
me your
I mean
metal
I've
card.
seen Metallica and I've seen Guns N' Roses, but separate, and they were both amazing concerts.
Of course.
Let me tell you, I've seen Metallica over 30 times.
Oh my goodness!
And,
Wow.
Yeah,
and
about
working,
you
and
over and
working
over.
at MTV, I got to work on
Yeah.
stage with them
Oh
many times.
yeah.
You know what?
Exactly.
I mean, definitely one of the best
I'm gonna have to interrupt you right now. They are the greatest heavy metal band. I'll fight you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Literally.
their concerts are just amazing. I mean, they just take it to another level. It was epic. So to see it 30 times.
Are they like the way they are on MTV when they show them interviews and stuff? Are they actually like that, or are they faking it?
Yeah,
Are they actually
I got to go. I got to do it on.
So I'm asking.
Well, it was like a unplugged, but it was really plugged.
Yeah.
I was in a warehouse with them for 2 weeks with 200 people doing a live concert with them, up on stage with them the whole time.
Jesus.
It's phenomenal. They're awesome. Each one of them is kind of unique though.
Yeah.
Like,
I figured.
You know, James very like business like, Lars kind of crazy.
Who's the one that's
Hammond-
always talking?
Yes, always talking.
Yeah, because
Lars.
my friend said if you took that guy and you put him in a closet and then an hour later you opened it up, he would still be talking.
Oh yeah, no, he's very particular. He's very particular. Like when he, you know, because we're in this warehouse, this industrial warehouse in San Francisco, overlooking the Bay Bridge, like right on the water.
Yeah.
And he's very particular about how his drum set was, and then he wanted all the chicks with the big tits, like right in front of his drums. That was very important.
What year was this, by the way?
This was in '98.
So Jason was still there.
And Jason was still there. Jason was the coolest.
Yep.
Jason was like so cool. I was very disappointed when he left, just because he was so cool.
He left.
Like he was the most like Kirk Hammett's like pretty laid back, like he does his thing. But Jason was like super chill, cool, but he would interact with everybody. Like he'd be the guy you want to go have like a beer with and just hang out. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad.
If I could choose anybody, I would probably go Julius Caesar as.
So you want to get stabbed by the senators?
No,
Good choice, sir.
I don't want to. I don't want.
I
the day
heard
that
it's
he gets stabbed.
it's rather prickly.
I would either go in the battle against the Gauls. That final one.
Oh, the final one. You don't
Yeah.
want to be at the defeat where Hannibal just crushed all of your people?
No,
When he went over the
definitely
Alps
not
with the
that one.
elephants? You want to do that one?
Either that or crossing the Rubicon and then into Rome, you know? Just like having destroyed the Gauls and then I'm going to take
So
over
your
Rome.
victory parade,
Oh,
basically?
absolutely.
Yeah, of
Can
course
you
you would,
see it,
you
right?
Leo.
Being a
Yeah.
Leo, yeah, just walking in and the power and yeah, so that would
And then
be
he gets
awesome.
stabbed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm only doing. Remember, the question is just for a day.
day before he
yeah,
gets stabbed.
Yeah, exactly. No, the stabbing. That god, that sounds like it hurts. And there's like
He was
at least-
arguing with them in the Senate chamber or whatever,
Right.
and then they all got their knives out.
Yeah,
and
to be
started
stabbed like
stabbing
over
him
30
and over.
times. Like, no, thank you. That
They
just
each
sounds-
stabbed him ceremonially in a turn. Did you know that? In turn.
Yeah,
Each of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever watched the show, you've seen Rome, probably, right? On
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
Great little series.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue on with our questions. Question number 4. Okay, if you could
Ooh.
take a drink out of the Fountain of Youth, which last time we couldn't remember who it was, it's Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
Yeah. At what age would you want it to stop?
18. That's when I'm in my prime and I've got my muscle mass.
Okay.
And I'm not too young that I can't do anything.
Actually, muscle mass for a guy doesn't happen till 27 or 28.
But you
So
know,
the
I was
18
pumping iron, sir. I was doing 50
No,
pounds.
17, 18.
Okay, 18. I'm sticking with 18.
Okay, 18 because you're legal, you can do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I'm not
Okay.
too old either.
Right. How about you? What do you
Yeah,
stop
I'm gonna
at?
say I'm gonna be in my 30s. I'm gonna say right around 30,
This guy. And you?
You know what? I'm
I
gonna
know
go
you,
a
Leo.
tad under and go like 27 or 28 because I mean late 20s, early 30s. It's a good time in life.
Yeah, but see, look, okay, for me, saying 33 is my Chinese lucky number, so it's got to have a 3 in it.
yeah,
Okay.
I love
All right,
But-
I'll give you that.
Just think about all the knowledge that you know now.
Yeah.
If you could take that to your
Oh,
younger
yeah.
self,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be
you
amazing.
have to go around the block a few times so you have all that you know you've been through the highs, lows, the ups and downs, and had enough time to get some experience.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Because you don't want to go too young. I mean, even though it would
Let's
be
go
fun.
Bitsby 13 again.
Yeah.
And have to go through all that crap. Yeah, no thanks. Exactly.
All
It's
right,
like, no.
and then the last question is, and maybe not. Have you ever experienced deja vu?
Multiple times, actually.
Multiple times.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm going to say this on camera.
Okay.
You guys can make fun if you want.
Okay.
Ever since elementary school,
Uh-huh.
I'd have dreams
Uh-huh.
of my next year's teachers. And I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
A year later, I meet my
Oh.
teachers. Oh, that's who it was.
Wow. Okay.
So every
through
time.
a dream,
Yeah.
that the deja vu makes sense because that would be
I-
the
I
most common.
Basically, I
Yeah.
see the future. I'm gonna say it on
Oh
camera
no,
right
that's
now.
okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm glad you
It's
had
happened
some.
multiple times.
I'm glad you had something to say and not like, well, not really, But okay.
Yeah, it's happened multiple
I
times.
believe
Like
it,
one
100%.
was 2 years before I went on a Hawaii cruise with
Uh-huh.
my cousin and my parents. The dream was we were in a van store on the Big Island on the Kona coast.
Yeah.
We were in the van store looking at shoes, and one of the vans was gold vans with a ribbon on it and stuff. Like, what are we doing with my cousin? So we finally go on there. Guess where we go to? The freaking van store. Oh, look, there's the gold shoe that, by the way, wasn't even a model 2 years before.
Wow,
It just came out. So you
dang.
can't tell me that that's just, deja vu. No. I saw the future.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what deja vu is.
So I'm like,
you've
deja vu.
experienced it.
It happened
and
at
then-
work the other day, too.
Yeah?
You know, my hands, I'm at the sink washing my hands.
Yeah.
Fonda and Linda say the same. It's like, say something similar. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say what I've said in my dream. I completely changed the future.
Wow. Okay.
Again.
Wow. Multiple instances.
It happens all the time.
impressed.
Yeah,
Okay.
throughout my whole life.
Damn. I wasn't expecting that.
I had
Yeah.
the same thing. I've
Uh-huh.
had it over my whole life. Where
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
literally have it's like premonitions.
Yeah.
basically.
I literally see the future.
Premonitions
I'm like,
of
deja
things
vu.
will happen, then those things come to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what that means?
What?
This means we're force sensitive.
Probably. Yeah. Yes. We're Jedi.
That's it.
You know what? I remember one in particular that I remember calling my buddy and saying, dude, I had this dream that I was playing pool with my friend Jeff, and
Yeah.
then we were in the limo, and then we went to the club, and it was just so detailed. And then all of a sudden, a month or two later, we do a bachelor party, and this guy walks in, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks just like my friend. And then just the club that we went to, playing pool at this guy's
Exactly the
house.
same.
I mean, exactly the same.
You understand.
And I had, I had given my friend Lauren the details of it like a month or two earlier, because he knew who this guy was. And
Right.
so that's the only instance that I had. There's other times where it's like, you sort of feel like
Yeah.
maybe, but this was like, yeah. I mean, the whole night. And I
Very
tried to play it.
detailed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very detailed. I tried to like
Play it off.
play it.
Yeah.
No, I tried to play it
Oh.
safe
Oh.
because I was so like taken
Like,
back by it. Yeah, and then my friends, I mean, they were characters, Let's put it mildly.
Now you know how I feel, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say the same thing
Yeah.
I said in the dream. Nope, I'm changing it. So I'm just like, nope.
Hey, though, you don't want to change the time continuum though.
Exactly, I know.
Don't mess up.
So if, I know there's no scientific explanation for this, skeptics, but
Right.
explain that.
Right.
Multiple people. Come on.
Exactly. No,
We
I'm
can't make this
surprised.
up.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say mine, and then I got a feeling they'll probably have theirs. But yeah, that's multiple.
Something
times.
I've had like
No, it's
thousands of times in my whole
Yeah,
life.
but,
Wow.
but think about your brain. How much of your brain capacity do you actually use?
Yeah, not much.
Not that much.
So when you have those moments when you tap into a little bit more, you do things that just aren't currently explainable.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'll take that explanation. Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to. We're gonna talk a little bit of what's going on in the NFL.
Oh, here we go. Yes. Something I finally know. Sorry, basketball.
I know. I hope we didn't
Kept making
bore-
analogies to NFL. That's all I knew.
know. I love basketball. And Matt loves basketball.
Number
so
one for me is
hopefully-
NFL, though, for sure.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so this week, Patrick Mahomes said his goal was to go 20-0.
Boy.
How likely is that? I almost wish I had the schedule to see. Like,
27% chance he's 20 now. I just crunched the numbers in my head right now.
did you?
Yeah.
Without even knowing who they're playing.
Yep. I'm going off of them. Forget your opponents. Remember what Bruce Lee said? There is no opponent. It's only yourself. It's only Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, you can look up the schedule. I'm pretty sure he has a 27% chance of winning. Going 20-0.
I'm gonna see how many, at what points.
I think the only way he'll go 19-1 is if he loses the Bucks in the Super Bowl. That's literally it. I'm serious. I'm
Okay.
not joking. You told me. You asked me.
Okay, how
I'm
about?
being serious.
Let's see. How about this?
Regular season game where he loses. Give me a bad.
What are the
opponent.
chances? And,
Okay.
and give me percentages, or you can go 1 in a billion, 1 in a
No, I'm
trillion,
giving you
whatever.
percentages
Okay,
because
give
that's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the chances of the Chiefs being 19-0 and the Bucks being 19-0 and meeting in the Super Bowl to see who goes 20-0?
8%.
8%. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
That's very little. Okay, we've only had the 72 Dolphins.
I'm saying 8%.
That have
had a
It just
perfect
depends
season.
who they fight in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks might slip, you know. You never know.
Yeah, I would
Same
probably
with the
go
Chiefs.
like a percentage of 1%. You know,
No,
something
that's
like-
too low.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Since 1972, we're talking over 40 years. You've had one team do it.
Yeah, and one
The
team.
Patriots were very, very, very close.
Yes.
Yes. Can you imagine if it was 19-0 versus 19-0 and whoever won got
Oh my God, that
immortality
would-
forever Super Bowl?
Well,
What would be the
would
ratings on
watch
that
that.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl?
yeah,
Everyone would
exactly.
watch
You have to
it.
pay like
networks-
$10 million for a
networks would be-
commercial.
The networks would be in heaven.
Yes. That's all they talk about for 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God.
You know what?
Like,
Look,
well, we're just gonna have to flex in this game. We're gonna have to. Man, these guys have been on prime time every week.
you know, looking at the Chiefs' schedule, I mean, they got some teams on there that can definitely.
But when Patrick Mahomes says, I want to go 20-0 or
I know,
whatever, come
I know.
on. It's Patrick Mahomes. You still got to give him
Yeah,
credit.
but you gotta love that though. At least,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's challenging himself.
Yeah, 500 yards rushing, running for his life in the Super Bowl. If he can do that, he can go 20-0.
Yeah, but but the rich get rich. You see the way they revamped that offensive line?
Yeah,
oh
the
yeah,
Chiefs, yeah. It's
Just-
a wrap. It's a wrap. Sorry. Sorry. The
Yeah.
Chargers might get a stinker on them. You never know. But it's basically Chiefs,
they
Chargers,
use every
Broncos.
possible medium. They drafted, free agency,
Traded.
Oh, their draft
Traded.
was phenomenal.
COVID, opting back in. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like 4 different ones, and they got depth. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, that's scary. Patrick Mahomes not being touched with Tyreek Hill
Probably gonna
and
get 50
Travis
touchdowns
Kelsey and some of the other players that Patrick Mahomes.
Bold
will-
prediction, he gets 50 touchdowns again with that offensive line.
Yeah, you know, I could see him having a
Seriously,
bounce back year
50.
for sure. Yeah, because the last 2 years haven't been too impressive. You know, even when they won the Super Bowl, I mean, they were like 6-5 at one point.
Yeah.
Before, you know, winning the rest of their games onto the Super Bowl, and then last year, you know, losing to the Raiders and just, you know, almost losing to the Browns in the playoffs. So yeah,
Hey,
I
don't
want to see a
forget-
full
don't forget-
year.
Don't forget Game 1, man.
The
They almost lost to
Chargers.
rookie Herbert.
Oh yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
should have won if a certain Anthony never coached my
Yes,
soccer
exactly.
team win.
You know what? That leads me into the next thing, which is the Detroit Lions. Okay, so
Oh, here we go. Run
I-
heavy Lions now. Bring Barry Sanders back.
Yeah, I was watching TV, ESPN yesterday, and then I see Dan Campbell, who is the new coach for the Lions. He had a motorcycle helmet that he took off. I don't know what he was trying to say. So basically, what he wants to do, and I told you about this earlier
Did he just
in the
watch
week.
Kill Bill?
Did he get a yellow and black
exactly.
jumpsuit too? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know exactly what he was trying to get across. But Penny Sewell, the
They're gonna run now.
best tackle
Yeah.
in the NFL. Maybe it's Rashad Slater, is it?
Rashawn Slater, yep.
Yeah,
see.
who knows? But so basically, he wants to take Penny Sewell, move him from his position of left tackle that he's played his whole entire life, and shift him over to right tackle so that they could use the current left tackle that they have there.
For
Does,
running.
does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I mean, the left tackle blindside spot, one of
Yes,
the most important
it makes sense.
positions. I mean,
It does.
Don't
Here we go.
forget who's on that coaching staff.
Yeah.
Who they add to that
Lynn.
coaching staff?
Anthony
Anthony
Confusion
Lynn
Lynn.
is the
Anthony
offensive
Confusion.
coordinator.
That's what I'm
Of
saying.
course.
Okay.
That's
It
par
makes
for the
sense.
course.
It's called suck.
you know what? Okay, so I'm going to look at, he's the play caller. I'm going to look at the nucleus, which is the most crucial question I have.
Goff.
Yeah, so you have Goofy Goff.
Yuck.
Yeah. And then you have Dan Campbell, who I told Chris reminds me of Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like,
Oh,
I mean,
We're gonna bite their ankles.
yeah, I mean, that's who he reminds me of. And then, so, yeah, and
And you got Anthony Lynn as your
you-
OC.
with
so.
Goff, you know, I see him play, and if he has no pressure, he's probably the best quarterback in the league. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get what I'm
a
saying.
little bit.
Well, okay, he plays super well.
He
okay?
does play
he
super
does.
well,
I
no
mean, he
pressure.
had a monster run a couple years ago
Yeah.
when the Rams won 10 straight.
Yep.
But
That's all thanks to Sean McVay's system, though.
right. So, do bad teams run into getting a lot of pressure?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Because the trenches are always neglected. And also, what Brady did last year has caused a trend through the whole league where everyone's trying to trade or pick up veteran quarterbacks to try to get a Super Bowl
Yeah, yeah.
So we can blame Brady again. Brady
I know,
haters,
Brady,
congratulations.
He's a
Trendsetter.
Yeah, for sure.
You heard it here first on The Sports Truth.
Okay. So I want to shift over to SoFi. You had a chance last week. You got season tickets. So tell us about your experience of what you saw there. It sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick,
Yeah.
don't forget in Ogre from Revenge of the
One of the best
No.
comedies of the
Here we
80s,
go.
right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when he's in Bloodsport, man, he plays an awesome character in Bloodsport. With
No,
Van
he's yeah. I mean, I've seen him throughout various movies. It's just he
Yeah,
has
so-
the look of that. You know,
The look of
Dan-
Ogre
Dan
without the
Campbell
personality.
fought in the Kumite or what?
Oh God, the Kumite.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wouldn't want to piss off Dan Campbell and get in a fight because he would probably destroy me. But
Probably.
But just because he could brutally beat up people and bite off kneecaps, I mean, that just doesn't sound like a coach who's.
He sounds
gonna
like
lead
Adam
you to-
Gates, which has weird press conferences and is really bad.
Yeah, like I told
Oh my
Chris
God.
on multiple times. You want to know how the team's going to do? Look at the press conference.
The very first press conference of the
Yeah.
head coach.
Yeah,
That's
and
why we
it's-
love Brandon Staley.
Exactly.
So far.
Brandon Staley.
Batting 1,000 on
He
press
looked pretty
conferences.
good.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So
Herbert's got a chance.
So going back to SoFi.
Yeah, SoFi.
SoFi,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
So over the weekend I had the opportunity on Saturday and Sunday to go up to Los Angeles to go do a extensive behind the scenes tour of SoFi Stadium. Now,
Ooh.
getting to walk around and go all over that facility and see, just all the planning from its location, the architectural features, technological advances, the amenities, the seating itself. I mean, that is the nicest stadium I've ever been in.
Wow.
And Kroenke's $5 billion went a long way.
Woo.
Damn,
I mean,
that much?
That's
Yeah.
just the
It
Rams.
seems like it
right?
destroys like the next closest, which I want to say is Dallas. That maybe they spent like $2 billion.
Well,
or something
I'm
like
sure.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that was part of the goal.
Yeah,
Kroenke's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
look,
Isn't he the
Yeah.
Rams owner?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Kroenke's like, look, I'm not gonna let Jerry Jones have this. I'm just gonna trump him.
Literally trump him.
That's it. So, but yeah, for us here, I mean, we're spoiled here in San Diego to have Petco, which, I think we talked about this last week or mentioned it.
Top
Petco
three.
is arguably the number one stadium for baseball,
That's what I've heard.
hands down.
From
Baseball
baseball
country.
aficionados.
So, I kind of had that frame of mind knowing how awesome Petco is for baseball.
Yeah.
So going up to SoFi, I was literally blown away. So just going through, if you look at the picture of it, it has the huge canopy that comes down. So you got the stadium. If you look at the SoFi sign from the waterfalls, you got the stadium to your left, and then the canopy comes over, and then you have a structure to your right. That's a 6,000 square foot venue to host the Emmys, the Oscars, the
Oh,
Grammys,
damn.
What?
and that they want to do things like in Vegas where they have bands come and do residencies. So
Wow.
the Motley Crue could come in there
Yeah.
and be there at a residency for X amount of months or
Man, he really thought of everything. The what
yeah.
was
So
Kroenke guy?
I mean, it's pretty
Kroenke guy.
pretty phenomenal.
And now my question is, how is the view? I'm sure. Did you get a chance to go to your club seats?
I did go to my club
Okay,
seats.
okay.
I have pictures of my club seats. I'll show them to you
Okay,
guys after.
sure.
I'll show you all the
Yeah,
pictures.
sure.
But yeah, the club seats are made. They're extra wide.
Oh.
They're all cushion seat, cushion back.
Dang.
Nice.
So this is in Qualcomm you're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, this is 100% not Qualcomm where water is dripping on you even in a skybox and
Oh man.
duct tape and band-aids.
Yeah, some smelly parts here and there.
Oh no, it was like the outdoor areas. So one of the cool thing is on the four corners of the stadium, each snack bar up on the main concourse level is named after a specific street in Los Angeles. So like Olivera Street or Sepulveda Boulevard or whatever.
Yeah.
And those snack bars, what you can get those snack bars is the same fare that you would get on that street.
Oh, okay.
So whatever thing is specific to that street, like
Yeah.
Tito's Tacos or
Right,
whatever,
pizza.
that's what's going to be in those snack bars.
Wow.
As a foodie, do you appreciate
Oh,
that?
Yeah, so the
absolutely.
foodies are going to be all about it.
Yeah.
They had on the lower level they have a complete whiskey bar.
Wow.
They got a beer bar. They have a.
We're gonna have to drive up there with him.
I
and
know,
go,
right?
Seriously, go
Oh,
eat.
they
Just
have
eat.
Maybe I might have to don on my Charger.
Bandwagon
You should
outfit.
because the
Yeah,
Charger
your
should be
bandwagon
sending
outfit.
you to this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a three level suite for all 3 levels that you go the spiral states to get all the way down. It's the Corona Beach Club. It was phenomenal. So these corporations come in and rent out.
Wow.
And it has foosball and living rooms,
The
and
heck?
then they go out to their seats. And I mean,
Wow.
Like-
That's sort of tough because you want to watch the
5
Chargers,
billion.
but then there's all this cool stuff going on.
Well,
exactly.
Chargers
That's why
and
you just got
Rams.
to come in pregame. You got to
Okay.
come pregame.
So instead of tailgating like we used to do at Qualcomm,
We
which
go
was
inside.
epic, then that's what you do instead.
Well, actually, so when I went up there the second day on Sunday, I actually went with the president of the Die Hard Bolt Club to go scout out the tailgating area.
Yeah.
So that they could command a huge portion of that tailgate area.
Oh, nice.
And it's just beyond the that where you see the SoFi sign in the waterfalls, so that it's not too far of a walk. I mean, it's literally 5-minute walk into the stadium. But
Wow.
the stadium was phenomenal. One of the cool things when you got down to the field level and you're in the back tunnels, when you got the elevator, you look, they have this massive area underground. It's a parking lot for all the players.
What?
So the players now, when they come,
Wow.
they don't park in a lot. They
Yeah.
literally go into their own private parking areas
Yeah.
below the stadium and then walk right into their locker room.
That is amazing. Wow.
Wow.
It sounds
And they
like-
have it on both sides. So the Rams have their private
Yeah.
parking lot. The
course.
Chargers have theirs, and they both. So on
God.
either side of the 50, the Chargers have their permanent locker room on the one side of the
Right.
stadium, and the Rams have it on the other side. And then on the 2 end zones are 2 visitor locker rooms. So they never leave their locker rooms ever.
Oh.
Wow.
And it was pretty trick when you go into the locker rooms. Up in the ceiling, they have a 3-dimensional lightning bolt across the whole ceiling, all lit up.
Yeah.
And then in the Rams, it has the ram horn
Oh,
all
that's
lit up.
right. That's I
Wow.
forgot they're both sharing the
Yep.
stadium.
We already talked about this.
I know.
Remember?
I just
Yes, it-
always like.
So and
sharing.
then after we did the tour of everything, and I'll go into this little tidbit.
Yeah.
The stadium's actually built very close to a fault line.
Mm-hmm.
So the engineers and architects had to take in consideration being so close to this fault line. So what they did is first, being also close to LAX, before they started the stadium, they dug it down 100 feet from ground level
Yeah.
to lower the stadium so they weren't in the flight path.
Oh wow.
Not only did they do that, the canopy is completely independent of the outer ring, is completely independent of the stadium bowl. So if there's ever an earthquake, all 3 shift independently.
Okay.
So they tout it as the most secure structure
Wow.
in the world for an earthquake.
So I'm sure.
What?
Maybe a good billion went into just doing
No,
that.
at least
100%.
2 billion. At least 2 billion. We're talking about.
Right, yeah.
So the stadium
like,
roof,
my
that
God.
the stadium roof that you see is not made
Yeah.
out of plexiglass.
Really?
It's like a salt crystal compound
Oh.
that's strong enough that you could drive a semi over it.
Wow.
So it doesn't shatter and cut
Doesn't
people.
shatter, but there's
smart.
I believe billions of LED lights, like 800 million LED lights in
Wow.
that roof.
Yeah.
So they can have somebody on a computer that can make any design ever.
Big lightning bolt.
Are there any night games for the Chargers home games?
They do have a
Okay.
primetime game.
Okay.
Monday,
Is
Thursday?
is it against the Steelers?
It's against the
Okay.
Steelers.
All right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
The big TJ Watt.
So, and then when we went down on the field, it was kind of cool. They had everything set up on the field. You can stay down there as long as you want. You know, we were playing football and whatnot, but they had all the booths set up similar to like what they do for the pro days. So they had the 40-yard dash, they had the vertical leap test, they had the quarterback throwing test, field goal kicking.
Oh.
That'd
So
be fun.
I will be
so
the
fun.
first to say, because my wife will tell everybody.
Okay.
I did not make my field goal. I had 3 attempts. I did not make them.
Okay, Katie.
However, I had to inform her that's because I'm a seasoned soccer player, and
Right.
we are taught to keep the ball down on the floor,
Yeah.
not to be popping that up.
I could see that
Now,
years of.
she's gonna hold it over me forever because on her 3rd try she actually made the field
Oh
goal.
really?
What was the
Wow.
distance?
Good for her.
Was
you know
it
what?
30
I've
yards?
tried to kick field goals, and you think it's easy right there. It's not.
Do I have to
It's
get
not.
destroying on here to show you how to kick? You have to get Donald destroying? No?
But
Okay.
that being said,
Yeah.
you know, I did, because of Rich Eisen, there was no way I was not going to run the 40. So I did run the 40,
Yeah.
and you know, I'll be damned if towards the 3/4 through that 40, I actually pulled a hamstring. The first time in my entire life, my sports career, I've ever pulled anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, my wife had to remind me, well, you know, you are almost 48 years old, and you are in jeans, and you didn't do any warming up. You can't just do that cold turkey.
Yeah. No,
But that being said,
absolutely.
even though running the 40 in not optimal, you know, situations, I did run a 5.6.
Which isn't bad.
I'll
Yeah.
take a 5.6.
pretty good. Yeah.
Under 6. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Take a 5.6. But, you know, where I excelled the most
Uh-huh.
was at the you know, the standing vertical leap.
Wow. I'm
Where,
impressed.
where I came in at a commanding 29.5 inches.
That's good.
That's
it.
really
I
good.
still have my hops. I can
Almost
still rebound.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that was probably one of my favorite things in basketball is grabbing the rebound more than points and anything else. And I used to love when the ball bounced off the rim to get a jumping start and just like grab that ball. Oh God.
Oh, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I was growing up with you know, playing as I was developing my shot, I always liked Cedric Sabalos because he played so far under the rim,
Yeah.
and I did the same thing. So I'm like, you know, if my shot's not there,
Yeah.
the one thing they can't take away from me, and I tell this to all my teams I coach, is
Yeah.
your effort
Yes.
and your heart.
Right.
Like those things, it doesn't matter your skill if you
That's
have those.
true.
So I would just focus on, I'm gonna out rebound
Yep,
everybody.
me
So I was
too,
like
dude.
the Dennis in my early
Yes.
playing. I
me
was like
too.
the Dennis
Oh,
Rodman
shit.
of basketball.
Shoot. Wow. I
I
know.
don't need points. I'll get 2 points and like 30 rebounds.
Dude, I didn't care because we come in at like 5'11". I didn't care if I was playing against 6'3", 6'5". When I box you out, unless you want to come over my back, you're not getting the rebound. Yeah.
Hey, that's how I played. 100%
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Okay, Antonio Gates. Gates should have stuck with basketball. Just kidding.
All right.
glad he
Wow.
went to
That
NFL.
sounds amazing. So when I'm watching it on TV,
Yeah.
I'll take all those
Well,
things.
yeah, so they tout it as currently to date, it's the most technologically advanced state structure in the world right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's willing to spend $5 billion.
He
Even
did.
that. Maybe like Bezos
that,
or something.
that infinity board,
Infinity ring? Yeah.
the infinity ring,
Yeah.
weighs 2 million pounds.
Oh my god.
That's more than 2 jumbo 747s stacked on top of each other.
You said that
My God.
your wish was to have Bezos be the new owner of the Chargers because
Yeah.
the current Spanos family
Or crap.
Yeah, they're
suck.
bleeding money out of there to
Yeah,
feed
they're
their charities or
from
whatever.
from what
Yeah.
Spanos' sister is saying is
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
they're so overextended. It's not even funny. So
Sell.
you know
please.
she's trying to get the state or the trust to have to sell.
Now I could see Bezos. I mean, obviously Bezos isn't going to want to be the renting the space, right? So I mean, you could see him building some amazing.
Well, he's the one person that has enough money that he
That
could
could do that,
he could
right?
now
Yeah,
then go
he's the
Trump
richest-
Cronky.
Just do
Yeah.
Giants Jets. You know they have the 2 stadiums literally next to each other.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Do they? No,
the
it's-
Giants have 2 separate stadiums next
Do
to each
they?
other.
I
The
thought
Giants
they-
and the Jets. Yeah.
They play in the same stadium.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
There's two stadiums.
No.
One of them is the
Who?
baseball field. One of them is the baseball stadium.
Oh, baseball.
You fell
okay.
for it.
Yeah, okay.
Look at his
Yeah,
face.
yeah. They both play at the same.
Can you imagine Bezos builds a bigger stadium next
Yeah,
to
right next to it. Yeah.
So fire just to be a
I
dick.
know.
No,
one
he
person
could be
capable.
like those trains in Japan that like just hover off the.
Yeah.
I mean, he could literally make a hovering stadium. if
Yeah,
he
what about our
wanted to.
bullet train that we put billions of dollars of tax
That's it.
money into? We still haven't built yet.
So let's hope for that. New ownership for the Chargers would be great.
New ownership for the state. He could buy out California.
All right, we're gonna move.
Team Bezos?
Team Bezos.
We're gonna move to movies. So there's 4 genres I picked. I gave each one of you a choice of which genre you wanted to pick. So Chris, you decided to go with science fiction,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So give me your 5 best, or these are movies that you
In
like.
my opinion,
in
I
your
like.
opinion.
Yeah. So I don't get flamed on the comments. Oh, you should choose this one. Or you have a sucky taste.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right,
I
for
mean,
me,
yeah.
coming in number 5, The Day of the Earth Stood Still.
Okay.
This is a classic black and white one. It tells a moral and ethics story, basically. Like, how do you think aliens would see us as a militarized, warring society. We like to kill each other. They look at them seeing us from the outside. Oh, we don't want to talk with these people. So he comes in with the offer of peace.
Yeah.
He clicks open the thing that had all the stuff, by the way, to stop cancer and diseases. We shoot him because we think it's a weapon.
Oh, wow.
If he goes down, the robot replies. The defense starts to laser tanks, guns. He doesn't kill the people. He kills the weapons. That's what he's meant for.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's pretty good. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Definitely should watch it.
It's been a long time. And you're not talking about the Keanu Reeves.
No, that one's horrible. My dad hates that one. Terrible.
I just kidding.
Should never have
Yeah.
been made. They should never have done that.
Remakes should rarely be made.
If you did do a remake with
Yeah.
modern stuff, just follow the original one with updated
Right,
graphics. That's
yeah.
all we asked for. What do you give us? Locusts.
Okay.
Stick with the robot with lasers. Number 4, Forbidden Planet. This is a good one.
Okay.
Has Robbie the robot in it. It's a classic one where some, they come from space. They're explorers. They come to this planet to check on someone. The scientist. If you guys haven't watched this movie, I'm very disappointed. Walter Pidgeon's in it. He's the scientist.
You said 1950s movie?
I think Forbidden Planet's like 60s, I think.
60s?
Isn't it?
Okay.
It's old. Sorry, millennials. You probably
I
never
have to
watched
write
it.
these down because I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
Hey,
You
That's a
haven't
great-
seen
that's a great
Forbidden
movie.
I'm
Planet?
sorry.
Okay, sorry about the comments. I'm gonna flame him on here. How could you not watch Forbidden Planet with Walter
You know what
Pidgeon?
it is most movies I've watched start from the 70s. And,
I'll give you that, I'll
I
give you
do
that.
need to watch some more of those old classics.
It's another good moral of the story movie. It's about the id, the
Which
power
one
of the
are you talking
mind.
about? A new one?
Forbidden Planet.
Oh, Forbidden Planet.
The id, the mind, power of the mind. There's
Okay.
some alien technology on this planet, and when he's asleep and dreaming,
Yeah.
it manifests a monster that kills things that he doesn't like.
Okay.
And at the end, eventually gets him killed.
Oh, you did a spoiler.
That's okay.
It's okay. All right.
It's been out for how many decades? If you haven't watched, it's too late now.
Yeah, but what's it
Forbidden
by
Planet,
now?
1956.
Yeah,
Okay,
50s. See,
alright.
another classic.
Alright.
Coming in at number 3, the original Matrix movie.
Okay.
Revolutionized how people saw CGI, how people saw special effects,
That's true.
choreography.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sequels as much as the
Yeah,
original.
the sequels were pretty bad, but
Eh,
the first one.
The first one is a classic, sci-fi classic forever.
Which pill are you taking?
Oh, no, I'm good. I don't need to explain the
How
Matrix.
about both?
Yeah, I'll just go.
See where that goes.
I don't need to explain the Matrix to our viewers because if you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
you've been living under a rock.
No, I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
I agree.
Keanu
Definitely.
Reeves, that's the only one he's good in. We don't want to see the Daily Stood Still remake of Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
This
So
one's
you're-
hard for me because it's my favorite movie. Number 2, Jurassic Park, the original one.
Okay.
1993. The dinosaurs go wrong. Genetic power gone wrong.
Yeah.
The moral of the story, my favorite, Dr. Malcolm, Chaos Theory.
And this is Spielberg, right?
Spielberg,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's a great book, too.
Yeah, I have the book. I bought the paperback book, and no, I'm not folding the pages. I'm not
right,
doing
okay,
the.
okay.
Yeah, you have to look away.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't need to really explain that because obviously you've seen it. Number 1, Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, like sort of a combination. That's fair.
It's
Yeah.
sci-fi fantasy, but it's more sci-fi than magic, so I had to put in sci-fi.
No, absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, it has one of the greatest plot twist reveals of all time in any movie. I will fight you on that one. When people saw this for the first time in the theater, they gasped. I heard people or shit themselves or
sure.
said, "I don't believe it." Like, that's not true. The same reaction as Luke. So
Yeah.
it's a classic.
I remember seeing that as a kid
Number
when
1.
we had to back then when they didn't have too many movie theaters,
Yeah.
and you had
Yeah.
to wait 3 hours to go watch.
Hey, Chewbacca's on the set right now. He raised his hand. He agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. Yeah, he agrees. That's right. So yeah, that's my top 5 sci-fi.
Okay, I like
I can
the-
watch all 5 of these over and over.
Okay, yeah. See, and that is the thing that I'm saying about these top 5 is you got to be able to have multiple viewings on them. If you can't watch it again, then I question how good a movie it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no.
So that's my top 5 sci-fi.
Okay,
I hope
good.
you
Good job.
enjoyed.
No, that was good.
Definitely would watch them. You know what? I want to watch them again already. Just talking about them. Let's watch some Star Wars.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go to you. You chose Gangster, which doesn't surprise me.
I did
Being,
choose.
being an Italian.
Yeah,
I
Italiano.
mean, let's not do stereotypes.
But
here,
totally.
yeah.
Oh, but
No, but
stereotypes.
yeah, okay, listen. Because I'm a Guiccione, and
Yeah.
I'm basically the one that's most qualified to talk about gangster movies.
You're right. You're right.
Absolutely,
You
for
win.
sure.
Yep, I bow to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So, my
Okay.
top 5, I didn't put them in any particular
That's okay,
order,
yeah.
although I will
Okay.
say that this first one is my favorite
Okay.
of all time. And that's Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
Okay.
Good choice.
Because, like you said, the category, in order to have, like, your top 5 movies, it's got to be something that you can watch over and over again. And then for me, if I find in my everyday life I can quote these movies or whatever
Yeah.
phrase multiple times
Definitely.
in my daily conversation, then you know it's a great movie.
Bring out the gimp.
Exactly. No, it's like this. Hey, don't tell me how good my coffee is. I know how good the coffee is. I buy this stuff. Okay?
There
Yeah.
you go. Yep.
So Pulp Fiction to me, I'm gonna go out on a ledge and say that that's the best written script of all time of any movie.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't fight you on that.
I can't fight you on that one. I'm just
No,
thinking of other
I think
movies.
Tarantino, like he just hit a grand slam with that. Like that's just a.
And then
top
how
to bottom, I
many
just love
people copied the? It starts in the past, and then you're in the present, and then you're going to go into
A lot
the
of
future.
people. It
Yeah,
set
I mean that had
trends,
never
yeah.
been done before, and the
Yeah.
complexity of trying to do something and then for it to make sense. Because I've seen other directors try to do that, and
Oh, that rejuvenated Travolta's career.
oh yeah,
That brought
for
him
sure,
from
he had
being
been
dead,
long. I mean, I'm not sure what he had done.
and that put Sam Jackson on the map.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, Tarantino did a good job with execution. He made everything transition flawlessly.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what it was.
exactly.
Other people kind of flop trying to copy it.
I think some movies every once in a while come out and they transcend the year that they were in. Like some movies are like, oh, that's the best movie for that year.
Or like for
But
that decade.
yeah, but this one is like
The movie of the decade.
Yeah, so
One of the best,
so
like-
so you had a Kahuna burger?
Stop. God.
a little thirsty, right? When
Yeah, a
you're
little
drinking that
hungry.
guy's-
Yeah.
Drink.
Or a Royale with cheese.
Yeah, the
Making me hungry, man.
The dialogue in there is second to none.
Literally, yeah.
We had a small little taste of Tarantino in Reservoir Dogs, which is an amazing heist movie with all those actors, Tim Roth and Michael Madsen.
I think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
and
Pink.
Harvey Keitel. Yeah, why do I have to be Mr. Pink? Why- Love that movie. I mean, like you said, the quoting is huge on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yes,
exactly.
good way
You
to
know,
start
the
this
whole-
category.
The
Yeah.
whole scene about tipping.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
exactly. What am I supposed to tip the person at McDonald's too?
Yep, you are. Yeah, 50%.
All right, that's a great way to open it up for sure. Pulp Fiction.
So Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go to one, the Departed.
Yes, you know what? I was putting my own list because I didn't know which category I had, and I completely forgot about that one.
The
Continue.
Departed is like epic, man. I mean, talk about like somebody that's going deep undercover and
Oh, that
he's
one.
just getting the
Yeah.
raw deal the whole time, and
Boy.
then and then you got like the police force. You know, you got that division that's totally flipped the script and they're like working behind the scenes and you're going after them. They're just undermining you on everything because they're on the take.
Right. Yeah.
And
You never seen
spoiler
Departed?
alert.
No, I have not.
Oh, dude.
Spoil me.
And spoiler alert.
The spoiler.
Okay, and then just when you think that everything goes sideways and the
Yeah.
bad guy wins, Mark Wahlberg comes in and saves the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is awesome. So,
And who's the director of that?
huh?
Who's the director of Departed?
God.
Martin Scorsese.
It is.
Yeah, and I
Scorsese.
think that's the first because obviously the movies that he's done are just epic, and then so they gave him the
Wait,
best director.
that
best
plot
movie.
reminds me of another movie called The Negotiator, where what's his name comes and saves.
Well, you
his
know
ass
what?
at the end.
That the one he's
Literally
talking
reminds
about,
me
The
of.
Departed, was
Yeah.
based off of an Asian, right? I forget what the name of it is.
Yeah.
Sort
Really?
of gangster type movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So man, you got if you haven't watched it, you got to put that.
Now
on
I
the
gotta
top of
watch
your
it.
list.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
phenomenal.
Probably
I mean,
Leonardo at his best, right?
Really?
I mean, there's
Okay,
a lot of
now
good
I gotta
movies.
watch
Dude,
it.
Leonardo is phenomenal, and then even now after you hear that, the musical piece like from the Rolling Stones, that's all you get. Every time you hear that song, you're
Yeah.
gonna think of this movie.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I
I'm in
remember
now.
hearing the like that Irish punk band,
Yeah, the rock bottom. I know exactly. What
Yeah,
yeah.
really.
Whiskey bottom.
Something.
Or whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is in
Yep.
it. I mean,
Yes.
it's loaded. I mean, you got
Loaded
Leonardo
and stacked.
DiCaprio,
The
Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I mean,
What the heck?
Yeah,
This
it's-
is-
I have to watch this now.
this
That's
is a
all those people I
star-studded
know.
cast.
so far you are 2 for 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next one. This is gonna go back to like my high school years.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
must have
boy.
watched this a million times.
I think I know where
with
you're
my
going.
friends. It's Goodfellas.
Yes.
Goodfellas,
Yes,
man.
I knew it.
Hey, listen, it's all about slicing that garlic paper thin, okay?
Stop.
You gotta slice that garlic paper thin.
God. Okay.
Now,
It's a good
I mean,
choice.
that's just, there's so many great lines in that movie. That's just a great movie in general. And it's also, teach you, listen, if you have a good thing going, okay,
Don't ruin it.
just stick with what you're good at. You don't have to deviate and get into the drug trade and just completely ruin everything that you
Yeah.
had going on with all the normal gangster stuff.
Right, yeah.
The
The
normal-
numbers and the
Yes, you had the numbers and you had the protection and you
Yeah.
had all that going. And then
the racketeering.
you know, like Paul Sorvino says, look, hey, when you're in prison, you got to do what you have to do to survive. But when
Yeah.
you're out, man, you got to cut that out. And that's the ultimate downfall.
yeah.
But I mean, Pesci in that movie is phenomenal. De Niro, of course.
De Niro. Yep.
Ray Liotta. They're all. I mean, that's,
Another Scorsese movie.
Another.
Yeah.
Man, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
let's go
Have you
4
seen
for 4.
Goodfellas?
No, that-
I have seen the first half. That's
That's,
Oh, okay.
uh,
All right.
because it was on TV. That's why. And I had
that's
to
not
go.
De Palma.
No, it's not. I mean, he's really similar because Brian De Palma has a lot of those, but it's Scorsese.
I'm still waiting for the one that I
Because
know.
then people were saying like, "Oh, you sort of did the same movie over again," which I like. Casino, I mean, it's not Goodfellas, but a lot of those same actors and.
No, Goodfellas like. I mean,
Yeah, it's in its own
I mean,
category.
yeah. I mean, you got the wives on Thursday and then the Gumaras on Friday, man.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm just waiting for the one. If he doesn't say, I'm gonna call him out on
Oh
it.
no! So far
I'm
he's 3
waiting
for
for-
3.
I'm waiting
So
for
far,
the one movie. If he doesn't
So
say it,
the next
those
one
would
I'm
be
gonna,
my 3,
the
yeah.
next one I'm gonna go to,
Uh-huh.
which is it's a little bit earlier than my high school years, is it's not talked about enough. Is The Untouchables.
Oh yes.
never seen that. I should
The
probably watch it.
Untouchables with Kevin Costner
Yeah.
That's
and
is
De
that old? I
Niro
don't
again.
know.
You know how
What's with De Niro?
That one is Brian De Palma.
Yes.
Yes.
You know how many times we've gone De Niro so far?
Untouchables? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
De Niro bias.
Yes, because
confirmed.
he does the best Al Capone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
I mean, come on. At the very end, when he's getting hauled away, and he still doesn't believe he's getting hauled away,
Yeah.
and he's hauling out, you ain't nothing but a lot of talking a badge. and that's a Sean Connery,
Yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Garcia is
haven't
like the
watched
main
this
man
stuff.
with the pistol.
Yeah. That's an
Oh.
epic movie.
That's
I mean,
a phenomenal. That's a
the
great.
costuming in it, because
No.
it's back in the 1920s.
No, they
and
did
the
a great
fight
for a period
scenes.
piece. They did a great job.
Absolutely.
But then, no top 5 list can be complete
Okay.
All yours.
without, of course, The Godfather.
Thank
Yeah.
you. If you
Alright.
didn't say The
Yeah,
Godfather, I was
yeah,
about
I
to be
know.
like,
Of course.
Yeah,
please
you-
cover
yeah.
your ears.
And you can even do a combination like what he did, Godfather 1 and 2. Like he went Star Wars,
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Because there's sort of like you need one.
Do you
with
like
the other.
Godfather 1, 2, 3?
You know, actually,
three.
the first time I watched it,
Tell
I
me yours
watched it
experience.
completely. I had remember when they had the laser disc?
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched a laser disc where it was recut all the movies
Yeah.
and it was all in sequence
Wow. Okay. I
Like
should
from
watch it like that.
Oh, okay.
from start to
To
finish.
finish.
So
Yeah.
like
One
basically
movie.
took all of them and then whatever happened in the old days all
Yeah.
the way through.
Yeah. I want to
And
watch
so
it
that
like
was
now.
kind of a unique way to watch it.
What'd you think?
But I know, most people, I mean, Godfather 1, of course, is the granddaddy, but most people say that they love 2 the best.
Yeah, and I think that goes with Empire Strikes Back, and a lot of times
Yeah.
that second
The
one
second
is
one,
just the
it
first
hits.
one's amazing, and then the director is able to take it to the next level
Mhm.
based on the interest of the first one. So, yeah,
100%.
wow,
That's my top 5.
That is a great 5. I would
Good.
not. I mean, there's some other ones you can mention, but that's like the back half of the top 10.
What about sci-fi? You didn't have any extra sci-fi that you wanted me to say? Because I have a few.
Oh,
I did
oh,
the top 10, but I did
Yeah,
5.
you know what? Let's see
Is
what
there
I
any
did.
that you think I was missing? Because I have
no,
in my
I don't
head.
think. I mean, because everybody.
There's a couple.
Yeah, no, there's.
He probably knows them.
No, there's-
Aliens?
Yeah, I definitely had
Aliens with the S.
Yes.
Yeah,
Aliens.
definitely. Aliens. I had Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
Back to the Future.
No.
The original. Yep. The cult classic.
You
I
know, the
love
one I
Back to the
told him the other day, we were talking about The Abyss is underrated.
Yeah.
And then for sci-fi, I went Minority Report with.
I like Minority Report.
Yeah, just because the special effects are so amazing. I get
Yeah.
so tired when I see stuff that's CGI, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
taken out of the moment because like your CGI is so terrible.
Oh, you're gonna talk about that?
prequels?
You're gonna talk about that?
Star Wars.
E.T.
Yeah.
E.T. for sure. When they're flying across when they're flying away from the police cars, that scene. with the music going,
Yeah.
the flying across the moon. That's E.T.
Another Spielberg. I mean, Spielberg. You
Oh,
know,
you want to
Spielberg's
keep going,
supposed to-
Spielberg? Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
It's another good one.
Jaws. I mean, we can go on forever.
2001 and Odyssey.
Right. So the
Jaws
last.
isn't sci-fi. I'm gonna have to fight you on that.
No, I didn't say. No, I was saying Spielberg.
Oh yeah, Spielberg
no,
in
yeah.
general. Yeah.
So there was two other genres to choose from. One was westerns, which I love westerns, but I ended up
Spaghetti
going war movies.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna
I did
judge
a
you
I did a 5. What's that?
I'm gonna judge you harshly. I'm a
Okay,
military
alright.
history buff.
Okay, that's
I
okay.
will rip you apart.
I included 4 wars.
Okay.
Okay, because I remember
listening.
you saying make sure that you open yourself up to the different genres,
Yes.
right? Okay, so for my first one, much like what he did, I'm gonna go Inglorious Bastards, Quentin Tarantino.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. Okay. That's a good one.
I mean, the movie draws you in right from the beginning. I mean, there's Christopher Waltz, the Jew hunter.
yeah.
Yeah, and so he's interviewing this girl, and what I was amazed about is that he busts into like 3 languages. He's speaking German and then French and then some English.
Yeah.
And I mean, any scene that he's involved in, that was one of my favorite scenes. And then the other scene was the cantina scene, which I think is one of it just builds up. It's tense, and it's one of the most epic sort of fighting scenes or shooting scenes in cinema history. I mean, you get to see everything that's happening when it culminates to that point.
Yeah, it's a classic war movie. I'll give
For
you that
sure,
one.
yeah. So you get Quentin Tarantino. I know it's sort of a fantasy revenge type movie
Yeah,
where
but
like
still a war
Hitler
movie.
gets his due, but yeah, Brad Pitt and
That your number one of your top 5, or is just
no, this
top
is my
in
number
general?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a World War II movie.
Okay.
For number 4, I'm gonna go Platoon.
Yep.
With Oliver Stone. From the mid '80s to the '90s, I mean, he has a bunch of movies that were just awesome. But with Platoon, since he had spent some time in Vietnam, so sort of hashes out how it was there, and talk about a movie that's loaded. I mean, you have a young Johnny Depp in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's in there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Doesn't matter.
but-
It's Johnny Depp.
yeah,
Come
Johnny
on,
Depp,
man.
Charlie Sheen. But the 2 antagonists that go at it is Tom Berenger. As
Berenger,
this
yeah.
mean, like just
Scarred up.
like don't cross him. He'll kill you in a second or make you feel dumb. And then on the other side was the battle-tested William Dafoe. Yeah, and that's sort of one of the epic shots of Hollywood. Where Tom Berenger leaves them behind, and he's getting gunned down by the Viet Cong, and he's just throwing up his arms and falls to the ground.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vietnam was a
So-
horrible war.
Yeah,
You never want
and-
to fight there.
And just the fighting scenes were just epic, especially the last one when they get overtaken. So
That happens.
that's my Vietnam representation, because there's some good ones, other
Yeah.
ones there.
Of course, there's a few.
Number 3, we are going to talk about the French-Indian War, Last of the Mohicans.
Wow, you would choose that one. Okay.
Hey, that was
Yeah.
on my list too.
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean, you're talking Daniel Day-Lewis, one of the best actors that we have around. Michael Mann, great director, also directed one of my other favorite movies. Heat is probably in my top 10 of movies overall. And just you have the French, you have the English, you have good Indians, you have bad Indians.
Air quote.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Depends.
It depends.
What side you're on, yeah.
Right, exactly. Just a love story. I could watch that
Some
one.
epic war movies. What it is.
Epic.
Yeah.
Have you seen Last of the Mohicans?
Yeah.
Oh, you
of course.
have.
Is it
Okay.
really the last of them though? Not really. No.
So
Misleading title.
yeah. And then my second one is Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah. Which surprisingly there isn't too many Civil War movies. There's like a lot of documentaries
Yeah,
and
it's a
things
touchy
on
subject.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is about the 54th Battalion and all black former slaves. I mean, when other time are you going to get Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington to be in the same, movie.
And they got the most medals too in real life.
Yeah,
They did.
and
the most
then you
decorated.
have Carrie Elwes and
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Thank you. I was like Matt something. Yeah,
Taking your movie card away.
this the director of this is Edward Zwick, which for some reason he has this knack for being able to do fighting scenes, whether it was The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise or he's done Courage Under Fire. He's done a bunch
It's
of
the camera.
yeah,
he gets.
yeah.
It's
So
pretty
that
good. Yeah.
last surge, when they know they're gonna die,
Yep.
is one of the most epic battle scenes. As they trying to overtake the fort, which they weren't able to.
Yep.
But and I'll just always remember as Denzel Washington is getting whipped. And then I call it the Denzel tear. You see that tear go, and then it just falls down. Just awesome. And yeah. And then so that leads me to my number one movie.
All right, time to judge harshly.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Saving Private Ryan. You got Spielberg, who is a great.
Also on my list.
Yeah,
Okay,
of
okay.
course.
I can't ping you for this one.
Yeah. How could
I can't ding you for Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
It's one of the best ones.
Absolutely. I mean, and if you want to get like true fans of the movie, are the veterans that went through that. They cried, they wept, and felt some representation. It had never been depicted the D-Day. And I think
It
that's
was
like
gritty, yeah.
great. It's like 25 or 30 minutes. But the thing is, it doesn't end there. All throughout the movie, you have these little fighting scenes, and then one of my favorite. I always like movies where like you're sort of trapped and you're just fighting an invincible force, and that's what they did when they're trying to protect the bridge.
Yeah.
And they're taking out the German force that's coming in with tanks and soldiers.
Yeah, the Tiger
and,
tank.
Yeah, so you have the best director, one of the best directors of all time. I mean, Spielberg's got like 20 movies deep.
Yeah, I know.
You have Tom Hanks, who at the time, we were talking. He at this time, he was doing in the '90s Forrest Gump, and Saving Private Ryan, and just
Man.
he did Catch Me If You Can, just one movie, which we also done with Spielberg and and Leonardo
Spielberg
DiCaprio.
and Leo.
Yeah,
Jeez, man.
there's a trend here.
There's a big trend.
I all these movies I could watch multiple times.
Tom Sizemore's phenomenal.
Tom Sizemore, yeah. Barry Pepper, Giovanni Rigsby, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, shout out to Vin Diesel. He got shot. I mean, he's like, but that nice
you
German
can't say
sniper.
that you didn't have a. You'd be lying if you said you had a drive when he goes back to Normandy as old man.
Oh, right.
And he falls down to his knee. Man, that then you can feel it in your
Absolutely.
That's
chest.
why the
Yeah.
veterans appreciate the movie.
Yeah, and old
Yeah.
Matt Damon, that all these
Yeah.
people
Yes.
ended up dying for him. It's funny. There's some humor in there, and the storytelling
Hey,
is.
Elliot's in that too.
Yes, from
E.T..
From E.T. Exactly.
Oh,
He's
Christ.
scared.
They
Which is which brings you to
What?
one moral of the story.
Oh.
Listen, you gotta be like Cobra Kai, man. No mercy. You cannot catch the bad guy
Yeah.
and then let him go, because then he turns around and kills your whole unit,
Yeah,
Right,
he did.
right.
Yeah.
and then laughs at you as you're crying on you're balled up on the stairs as he walks by as he just kills all your
Wasn't
buddies.
he some like
I remember that.
translator or accountant or he was something like that where he was a paper pusher,
Yeah.
and then they needed him for whatever reason and brought him along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the moral of the
Yeah.
story is, guys,
Yeah.
weakness gets you killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
for
know.
sure. So those are my top 5 movies.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have to grill you. Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
your history buff.
sports, movies, they're side by side. I mean, the amount of attention that I give sports, the amount of love I give it, and just my time, and it's the same that I give with movies. I mean, just right there. Okay, so I'm glad we had that. I've always wanted to do a movie. So hopefully, if you guys haven't seen any of those movies, please
Sorry for
watch
spoilers.
them. Yeah, exactly.
You've had 40 years though.
All right, so we're gonna end with the last couple things. So yesterday, found out that the great Coach K is retiring from basketball, and
The GOAT.
the goat,
GOAT is
absolutely.
retiring.
So I'll ask my friend Matt, who's a huge Duke Blue Devil basketball fan, much like myself. I saw when they were interviewing him and the questions. I mean, he was on the verge of tears like every time he was talking. And why shouldn't he be? I mean, he's done some amazing things. So what's your take on the retirement or how it affected you and moving forward and one last year?
It's just a culmination of our week. The Lakers go down, get bounced out of the first round of the playoffs. Milton jinx us, and the Padres go on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, Milton, you jinx.
And thank God that the Mets came in and
Yes.
they were able to win 4-3 in like a heart-stopping.
Oh, it was 3-0, so they actually let him come back?
Yeah, they ended up winning
wow.
4-3, but it got very interesting towards the end.
I'm sure it did. I just
Yeah,
wrote it
One
off.
of
as
those
Jinx.
ones where you're on the edge of your seat going, come on, man.
Milton, stop.
But and then Coach K decided to retire, and now he said it's not because of the changing landscape of college basketball and how recruiting's going and the one and dones and so on and so forth. And I get it. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, over 40 years.
Over 4 years.
Wow.
And he's got a large family, and he wants to spend time to be able to actually go to the events of his grandchildren. I mean, he's touched the lives of how many young men?
Oh man,
A
yeah.
lot.
I mean, look at like the Jason Williams and the Jay Billis, and I mean everyone seems to when they
Johnny Dawkins.
Johnny Dog. Yeah,
Look at his coaching tree. I mean,
Yeah.
his coaching tree
His
goes.
coaching tree.
Yeah,
It
he's
goes
got a
into
pretty
college.
impressive one.
It bleeds into the NBA, and
Dang.
he's leaving it and he's turned it over to John Shire, and they'll be in good hands because John Shire actually for the last several seasons has been doing the bulk of the recruiting.
Yes,
Oh.
and
He's the one that brought in
Zion, right?
Tatum and Zion.
Yeah,
I mean, he
Wow.
was the one that played the integral part of that. So.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Shire. I mean, very cerebral. The thing I liked about him was his adaptability. He was a shooting guard. He was one of those like 40, 50, 90 guys, meaning he shot like close to 40% of the three-point line, over 50% on the field, and then 90% at the free throw line. And in their championship season, he sacrificed the shooting guard and ended up picking up the point guard along with Singler and some of those other guys I can't think of right now. But there were some people that I just didn't want. I don't know what it is about Capel, but
Me neither.
I just didn't want him.
No, I didn't want Capel either. I didn't.
Yeah, it was
We're
either
double
Johnny
fans.
Dawkins or and you know what? I mean, I love Tommy Amaker because he's one of the first players that I rooted for. But I don't know if he has that like killer instinct like some of the that coaches have.
Woj still on that staff?
No, he moved on to Marquette. So yeah, he would have been a good one. Yeah, we're in good hands with John Shire. I'm sort of excited about the Duke basketball season in the next couple years. Maybe that 6th championship that we can turn into 7, so we get off the number 6.
They have the number 2 recruiting class.
They have the number 2 recruiting class. Do one for Coach K. Coach K is going to put everything he has into it. And if for some reason he doesn't, Shire is going to feel like, oh my God, I got to get out of the shadow of Coach K, which is an impossibility. But if he could win one in the first couple years,
Hey, let's just pull like this last year. Let's pull an Elway or a Peyton Manning, and let's just win one going out.
yeah, no,
Send him off the right way.
For sure. I mean, I honestly think that they should have won with a talent like Zion.
Where did he go to again? The Pelicans?
He did go to the Pelicans. Which
Why
is
the
probably
Pelicans?
Because they got the lottery pick, and
That's
so
right.
This is why it's a dumb draft system.
it is.
Should have gone to someone who needed
I don't
it.
know.
But
I mean,
okay, listen,
yeah.
we'll touch on this real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
The reason why they didn't win that year
Yeah.
is because in that tournament, especially in that last game they lost, they went away of running everything through Zion.
Yeah.
And Barrett kept trying to be the dominant guy.
Yes.
And I'm like, look,
Should've stuck
nobody
with
can
Zion.
stop Zion. Why are we not feeding it into the
Yeah.
post to Zion? Let Zion win or lose his game. Let him take over.
He didn't even touch it like the last several
No.
minutes, and my worst fear came true that R.J. Barrett had it in his hands and missed an easy.
100%. Same
and-
way I felt last night watching the Lakers lose. I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, I
Jinx.
don't want to see Caruso and Kuzma taking these shots.
Yeah.
I want it to go through LeBron. Let's just live and die with LeBron. Because when he drives the lane, you're not stopping him. He's going to either make it or get fouled.
Did
Same
LeBron
thing
have
with
like
Zion.
a whole bunch of points? I didn't see his stat line. I mean,
He almost had triple-double.
Did he? Okay, so he did his part.
But there were times when the other role players were taking shots that I was like,
that
come
they
on.
shouldn't be.
No.
Yeah.
Like this should be funneling through LeBron. The same thing in that year, Duke had the talent to win,
They did. They
hands
did.
down.
I was-
But it for whatever reason, they did not run through Zion, and it ended up costing them.
Yeah, I mean, for being one of the top ranked players in the nation. I was just extremely
I
disappointed.
mean, how often do you see a guy that's that big and that fast with handles?
Oh, as far as Zion goes,
Oh, he's ridiculous.
yeah, he is. His intelligence, his ability.
100%.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm not
So,
sure if it's
you
going to
know,
work out
you
for
know, I
him
just
with
wanted-
the Pelicans. But,
You know, yeah, for us fans, it sucks to have Coach K leave.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I honor him. You know, I appreciate everything he's given, not only to us as fans of Duke, but to all of college basketball.
yeah, no, for sure.
In Olympic Team USA basketball. I mean, he's got his show on the satellite radio. I mean, he's given everything. It's time for him to just be able to sit back and relax and enjoy everything that he's accomplished over
He
his
deserves it, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Hall
I
of
mean,
Fame career.
after we got the bronze in 2004, I think it was. It's funny because then you had a rookie or first year LeBron and D Wade, and Larry Brown like had him on the bench half the time, and I'm like, dude, LeBron and D Wade are amazing, you know. But there's one more topic. We'll go back to the NBA. Give me your top 5 duos of all time. So like teaming one Hall of Famer with another Hall of Famer.
Say that one more time.
Okay, so the top duos in NBA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So in most cases you have one Hall of Famer and then another.
I only know a little basketball, so I'm going to say what most casual fans would
Okay,
say. I'm going to say it. Kobe Bryant and Shaq.
Okay, that is
There
at
we
the
go.
top.
That's correct. That's the correct answer. That's
It is.
100%.
Seriously.
For sure.
No
That's
one
what I
can
have
beat
at the
them.
top of the
Yeah.
list
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
That's all
Listen,
I know.
Yeah, that's good.
If
Even
Shaq
he
and
knows-
Kobe could have
yeah.
got over their differences,
yeah, they could have
Unstoppable.
won another 3.
Yeah.
they could have won another 3 very easily. I
Yep.
mean, there was nobody more dominant. Like I said it before, if Shaq had that work ethic of Kobe,
Yeah.
he'd, in my opinion, he'd be the best basketball player of all time. He's just
Wow.
unstoppable.
Okay. So I win,
So
right?
that duo is ridiculous.
So what's your other answer then? Like second best?
Man,
There has to be a second best.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
That's number 2.
I mean,
Really?
two three-peats. That's hard to argue.
100%.
The best player of all time, along with like.
Did he always pass it to Pippen, or did he always just dunk it?
No, I mean he's.
MJ.
That was like a last resort.
Oh.
Like, all right, everyone thinks it's gonna be me. Let me give it to
No,
Steve Kerr or Paxson or
oh.
guys that nailed 3-pointers. So.
Okay.
No, and then you gotta go. As much as I hate to say this, Bird, McHale. I mean,
Yeah, I left them off the list. But they probably should be on that list.
Who's number 3 then? For you?
You know what? I went LeBron and D Wade. They won back-to-back titles
With the
Yeah.
wait,
with
what?
the Heat.
The Heat, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to
And,
D Wade?
yep.
He retired.
He retired.
Yeah,
Okay.
he probably, my favorite player in basketball, I would say, is D Wade. Like when LeBron, D Wade, and Carmelo came out,
So
I was like,
I'm gonna go D I love D Wade. I want
Yeah.
the Lakers to somehow find a way to get D Wade.
I know, right?
I mean, come on, he's number 3. 3's a good number.
That's true. That's true. Just I
Three
mean,
is a good
a
number.
6'4" guy, but I mean the moves he had and the explosion. Yeah, for sure.
And
Fourth.
another one
Uh-huh.
that I have a real hard time spitting out
Oh.
is Stockton Malone, man.
Yeah, I left them off my list too, but because they didn't win, they were Hall of Famers, but they didn't win the championship.
That's because they played dirty.
Really? Playing dirty in basketball.
I could see
Come on now.
Malone. I could see both of them playing dirty now that I think about it. For sure.
They got away with stuff
Yeah.
a lot. But
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to go to a duo, like if you want like in your top 5,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's got to be Curry and Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal. Like
For sure.
when
Best-
Thompson's on his game, the Splash Brothers are
The
phenomenal.
Splash
Yeah.
Brothers.
No, I mean the two best shooting guards on the same freaking team.
Really?
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I think their story still has to be written, but
Yep.
I could definitely see them at
Who's the
end.
better shooter though? Of all time, Stephen Curry.
Yeah, Stephen Curry now because
the
I mean
number one shooter.
he's pulling from like half court. And,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
He's like, hey,
Klay Thompson doesn't
logo,
do that.
Logo, no
Yeah.
problem.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
this all-time best shooter is Stephen Curry up there.
Oh yeah, he is the best shooter
Of
No,
all time.
like literally,
They're
they're
all
gonna have
time.
to.
of all time.
People got
Really?
to think
Yes,
about that.
absolutely.
That Curry should
about
be
old
in that
people?
conversation
Yeah.
as top 5 player of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
for
He's that
sure.
good.
But just
For sure.
shooter alone, he's number one. in your-
I think he
You're
is.
gonna
I
put him
haven't
above
seen a
other
shooter like
shooters?
it. I mean, before him, there was other people, Yeah, and some of the other ones I rounded it off, and you'll probably appreciate this one. I mean, come on, Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yeah.
Magic had 5, and I want to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had 6 because he won some with the Bucks. Was it?
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, you have a 6'9" point guard and the 7-foot
Oh, jeez.
center, and if you want to take, they both won national championships, right? Magic at Michigan State, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 3, I think, at UCLA. So
Absolutely.
and then one that I threw in there, that this is the one where I could have gone Malone Stockton, or I could have gone Bird McHale. I'm gonna go Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. With that.
Tim Duncan, the most boring player of all time.
He is.
Really?
The fundamentals.
Time to
But
take
he's
the
just
card.
a machine. He he
Yeah.
wasn't flashy, but he got
He's
the job done day in, day out.
Yeah, I mean,
He
he
knew
won 5.
exactly what you were going to get every single
my
game.
God.
He won 5 titles, and Tony Parker, I think, won 4. And I mean, as far as a point guard goes, I mean, Tony Parker had pretty much everything you're looking for in a point guard, right? I mean, being able to drive,
Absolutely.
shoot, clutch shots, doesn't get rattled. So that was just one that I was working
But
on.
exactly, yeah, I appreciate the fact that you put more Lakers on there because Magic
Yeah,
Kareem.
yeah.
Listen, how
Yeah.
about Magic's rookie season?
Uh-huh.
Kareem goes down, the captain goes down.
Oh, no.
Magic, no problem. I'll step in.
Yeah, he plays
I'll
the
play
center
center and
point.
dominate.
Yeah, he had like
Really?
42 points and like.
That's why
triple-
for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
you put Magic and Kareem, and then you put Bird, McHale. Those '80s battles between the Celtics, Lakers, are some of the
Oh yeah,
best basketball
for sure,
of all
for
time.
sure. Yeah, I remember people would take different sides, and so it
Of course
was
they would.
Lakers and Celtics, and I'm like, I had this thing that I'm originally from San Francisco, my hometown is San Diego, LA, because like they think that they're better than us or whatever. So like that's where I started to become a Jazz fan, and you got to admit some of those were classic battles, right, in the '80s. I mean, the Jazz would take the Lakers to Game 7 and then lose. But like that would always happen, like 87, 88. They were always on the
No, that rivalry between the Lakers Celtics, I mean, it still runs. I remember going to when I flew to Boston to go see the Chargers play the Patriots.
yeah.
I was there for when they played week 2, and I was there for the AFC Championship game.
Oh wow.
And man, we had just come in. We're heading to the hotel. It's later at night.
Yeah.
Cabs take us, and we're going by the Garden. I had the taxi driver
Yeah.
pull off the freeway, stop,
Yeah.
so I could run over to the Garden,
Yeah.
take a piss on it, and then get back in the cab to go to the hotel.
That totally sounds like a Lakers.
2007, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, poor Rivers. They're all
100%.
banged up.
That's just
yeah.
a rivalry that's
Yeah.
gonna
You
like,
put
go
it on
on
the Garden.
forever.
fan. When we were watching the Laker game at the press box, it was me and a bunch of Laker fans. Everyone
Yeah.
was wearing their Laker gear. They won that day.
Of course.
And it was funny, there was this Celtics fan, and he's wearing a Jason Tatum 0 jersey, and he comes over. I forget what question he had, but
Yeah.
he was maybe asking how the Lakers are doing. And the only reason that he didn't get eaten up by us was because he had a Duke fan. So he's a Duke fan, I'm a Duke fan.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the heart to tell him. I think it was the first game, and I was like, your team's gonna get swept or lose, right? I didn't have the heart. He was
Yeah.
young. He
Yeah.
believes in his team. Like when you're younger,
Yeah.
you believe every year your team's gonna win.
Right.
The older you get, you realize my team isn't
Suck!
going to win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're gonna get there, but so yeah. I mean, don't you think so? Right? When you're younger, you
Yeah.
just think,
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna win.
We're gonna win no matter what. And then
then
later
lose.
on, you realize that there's variables and tangibles to all that.
I do have one last question
Yes.
before we wrap up.
Sure.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of NBA? And it can be any team in any era.
Oh,
Who's the 4 top for you?
4 teams or players?
4 players.
4 players.
I'd have to hear from you and then
Okay.
hear from him because
Okay.
it's gonna tell you how wrong you are, right?
Okay. All right. You want to go first on this?
Hell
Or
no,
want me
you
to go?
first.
Yeah. You want me to go? Okay. Yeah. No, for
What's
sure.
your Mount Rushmore of basketball? That was the question.
Yeah. No, for sure. First, you got to go with Jordan. You know.
Oh, come on. Always straight to Jordan, yeah?
Just straight to
Yeah.
Jordan. And, I mean, I know LeBron's an amazing player, but we need to stop the comparisons that LeBron
We
is
just talked about
is
this
the GOAT.
before.
And I know you're a Lakers fan and LeBron's your boy, but it's like, but you also saw Jordan.
Yeah.
So, so I'm going to go Jordan. For my second one, I'm gonna go Magic Johnson. You know, I
Okay.
mean, he had 5 championships. They ruled the '80s. Showtime. I mean, a 6'9" point guard that
Ooh,
could
good
pass.
boy.
He got better as a shooter, as a 3-point shooter later on. Epic battles with the Celtics and the Jazz to get there. So Magic Johnson is my number 2.
Okay.
This is okay. So those ones are sort of like
No-brainers.
the no-brainers, and then
Okay.
after this, it starts to get a little bit tough.
Yep.
Oh God.
So we judge you harshly.
Right? No, for sure. For
I don't even know
sure.
basketball. I'm gonna judge you.
I know. Oh man.
Who's number 3 undisputed all-time number 3?
I know, because I'm pretty sure he's got Jordan and Magic Johnson down too.
You don't
I
know
do.
that. You don't know that. You don't
No,
know
I
that.
don't. I
You
mean,
don't know
I do.
that. No,
No,
if-
100%.
oh, he does.
If
Okay.
he doesn't, I'm gonna take.
I already have. Listen,
I'm gonna take his NBA card.
Yeah,
away from
I
him,
already
okay?
have
Be
the
like-
chisel out, and
Yeah.
I'm doing that right now.
The Mount Rushmore of basketball. Look at this guy. I stumped him.
Yeah, because I mean, I have like my top 10 players.
You want me to come in and give you the
Here,
assist?
he can assist you, yeah.
Help
Give
me
me
out here.
assist.
Help
Okay,
me out here.
okay.
Okay.
Kid, no bias.
Okay.
Okay.
But Kobe is gonna slide right in there.
I was thinking Kobe.
Kobe at number
'cause
3? Solid 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he won
Okay.
5 championships.
He did.
And he was a perfectionist.
The
Two
Black
by
Mamba.
himself with no Shaq.
Yeah, exactly. That was impressive with Paul Gasol and I don't even know who some of the other players were, but they weren't
He did it.
superstar players, right? Would you say he had another superstar player with him on those teams?
I mean, no, Gasol was a good Robin.
So, for sure. Yeah, along with God, who's some of the other players?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going Kobe. All right.
Really?
Kardashian.
Kobe at number 3.
Number
Ooh,
3.
Boy. Okay.
On number.
You're in trouble at 4 because there's so many people that could be 4.
Yeah.
They all deserve 4, but you're not going to say 99% of them. So you're going to get flamed no matter what you do.
Oh, boy.
Those 3, though, are good. You can't really argue
Yeah, no,
with
for
those.
sure. I'll tell you what, it's not going to be another Laker. I'll tell you that.
Oh, come on. He's not going to put
Because I know,
Shaq?
he
I'm
could go
kidding.
Shaq.
He
I
would-
can see
he
it.
could have
Yeah,
gone Shaq.
I mean, that is
As a casual basketball fan, I was going to say Larry Bird at 4 because of me.
you know what? If you want to play it safe, and
I'm playing
that's
it safe,
and that's the
'cause that's all I
direction. Yeah, he did win 3 titles.
Yeah.
And you know,
Scored a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, he
Did
feared.
he have the record for a long time until someone broke it?
He's
Or does he still have it?
He had no fear, and he just made. I mean, for having like a 6-inch vertical or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, but definitely one of the best shooters of all time. We were talking about Stephen
Curry.
Stephen Curry.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't think
So-
could I put Stephen Curry at 4th? No. How many has he won?
He's won like
Championships?
3. So I mean, you wouldn't.
Who else has 4?
There's a bunch.
Because you have to put it by championships, because that's how ESPN does it.
Right. Yeah.
Suckers.
I'll go Larry Bird because I mean he along with Magic. I mean what they won 8 out of 10 championships. So
Yeah.
he's right when he says the epic battles
Yeah.
of the.
But you'd put Shaq though if you had
I
to
will put
bias
Shaq
lens
Yeah.
in there. 'Cause I just
Yeah.
go by just utter dominance.
Yeah, not
That's
just
so
championships.
crazy that 3 of the 4 Mount Rushmores
Or
are
Lakers.
But I can't really argue that much because Shaq. I mean, there's never been
God.
a force like him, and they had to redesign
so
the
big.
backboards because every time he was dunking,
He'd break it, right?
he
Yeah.
would either pull it down or shatter it. So, and he,
Oh my
and he
God.
did win a 4th one with D Wade.
Oh, he
I
did.
love that
Okay.
that he did that one. You know, that was D Wade's first and his.
Last one.
So,
right?
yeah, I mean,
4th to
That-
be anyone.
I
really.
remember watching him at LSU when he played Duke.
Oh yeah.
And he single-handedly took on Duke by himself.
Really?
Right. Yeah, well, I remember Coach K throwing all different types of stuff at him because he was essentially, I mean, they had like Stanley Roberts and what's the kid's name? Chris Jackson? But he changed his name
They
later.
threw stuff at him
You
and it
remember
didn't
what I'm
work.
talking about? Like their shooting guard?
It didn't work, did it?
No, I mean, no.
Because
I mean,
of
they,
Shaq.
they did.
Oh, it worked,
I want to
okay.
say like Christian Laettner had some big games and they were playing in Duke. And
Oh, okay.
Duke just had a better team. I mean,
Oh,
that was
okay.
like the best Duke teams of all time going up against just Shaq.
So
I
you
mean,
said, so you're basically saying Shaq is like Aaron Donald, unstoppable.
oh yeah, for sure. If you were
Like a
to
beast,
compare
yeah.
them, that's a good comparison.
To NFL,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Right up the middle.
All right. All right, we covered a lot on this podcast.
Yep.
So we will see you next week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There's some good movies, some good discussion.
Yep. That's good.
Any last words from either one of you guys?
Thanks for listening. It's good to have you on again.
Yeah.
Hey, I was honored to be invited back. I appreciate it, guys. Go watch a movie, read a book.
Yeah.
Read a book
Don't
the right
bend
way.
the pages.
All right, cool.
And goodbye.